Dogtown's #1 rock station, Z159 FM.
Right.
Your only home for the Hot Tub and Mini Fridge Morning Show and Dump 'em Out Fridays.
Oh yeah, a hot tub and mini fridge. Keep me cold and hot.
get this silly music out of here. We got guests. We got important people to talk to. Yes, sir.
Terry's got a song that our youngest son composed and recorded.
Can I play it?
It's an instrumental.
Send it to me. Email it to me. Yeah, email it to me. I'd love to hear it.
I don't think he has his copyright.
The one that's been in
stuff
here
finished yet.
with the longer hair. No?
No. This is his little brother.
Oh, so this is a different. This is a
this
Beaz.
is
This
baby
is one of your Beaz we have not met.
Right.
Because we've had a lot of. I feel like we've had damn near everybody in here, and they're all so nice and sweet, and we meet them, and then there's just we haven't made it through all the characters yet. There's more characters we haven't met.
That's right.
All right.
We're very diverse.
So you need an email to you, or you just want to play it?
Oh, just email it to me. Yeah. That way I could throw. Maybe I could use it if you guys don't. If he doesn't mind me playing it and giving, credit, obviously.
Well, like I said, he doesn't have his copyright stuff in place yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything. Yeah, but I'd love to hear it. Yeah, I'll keep it close to the vest. But good for him for doing that. That's awesome. Never been a better time to do it.
He's a monster guitar player.
Well, his dad likes guitars, so that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, I gave him one of my
better than you on
big
guitar?
dog guitars. Yeah, my Charvel.
Oh, look at you. How many guitars you got now, Beaz?
8. I've only got 8 now, including one that's taken apart.
Oh, we can talk that too. We can talk guitars.
Yeah,
because I got.
Wait,
all right,
and we'll talk about there's a news story about moonshine. Some Florida guy got arrested with
81
gallons.
Yeah, and did he get
moonshine.
arrested in Alabama?
Yes.
Somebody sent me a picture of that. Somebody sent it. It wasn't you, was it?
Yeah. His
we
name is hilarious.
Whenever we see moonshine, because there's only a couple guys we know that dabble, right? All right, I think that's running good. T, would you like to start?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. And 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. With us in studio, our good friend Killer Beaz is here. How you doing, Beaz?
Well, hey, that's how I pulled over a minute ago.
Yeah, exactly. Give me the
That's a
siren.
flashback.
Now-
You should have warned me.
Killer Beaz does have a flamethrower next to him,
Yes,
but
he
we'll
does.
talk about that in a second. Anyone in the Ormond Beach area, Killer Beaz is going to be at Ormond Beach Performing Arts Center on January 31st.
Yes.
Get your tickets at killerbeaz.com. That's BEAZ. And again, anywhere around Ormond Beach, the Ormond Beach Performing Arts Center. If you want to see a pros do stand up, Killer Beaz is your man.
And our very good friend that you've heard on our show for, I want to say
Years?
20 years now.
Yeah. It's a long time we know Beaz.
I was 7.
So,
I
Beaz.
wish I was 7. Oh, man.
Let's before we get into your flamethrower, let's talk moonshine, because you've been on the show Moonshiners for how long now?
10 years now.
For a decade now, and then there was a show last night, correct? Or,
No, it's tonight.
Oh, tonight, yes.
As a matter of fact, and last week the show last week was one of my episodes, and
Okay.
what they do, Discovery Channel re-airs last week's show right before the new show, so I'll be on again tonight, a repeat, and I think that is at 7:00 Eastern
Okay.
on Discovery Channel. So before the brand new episode, they will air last week's, and
I
in
love
last
it when
week's.
they do. They're like, if you missed Moonshiners last week, and then they show
Yeah.
Beaz, and he's like, "Save up," and then they cut to the next, and then they go to the next one. They're like, "This week on Moonshine," and then it's you, right?
Right.
And what would be like a breaking point in there, like getting some of your getting your still discovered, or what's the worst thing
Well,
that could happen to you?
Oh, the worst thing that
Weather
can
come
happen
in and
is
kill
you
your-
get blown up. That would be
You
number
You know,
one.
I forgot about that. I forgot about the
Okay.
yes. You
Yeah,
know what?
that
Thank you,
one.
Beaz.
The second worst thing would be your steel collapses. If you're doing a run, if you're making distillate, if you're doing the run and cut your fire off, your heat source, without then uncoupling this system, it will cause a vacuum. And because most of these steels, the ones we use on the show, are copper, and copper is a very flexible.
Sure.
The tensile strength isn't giant with copper, and it will actually suck back and crush your your big pot that your stuff was in.
So you
So
can
like
just destroy
implode.
all
the
your hard
vacuum,
work.
yeah.
So to like essentially implode in itself.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, because it's a
temperature
pressure system. The way the stuff moves through the steel is from the steam pressure pushing it through your thump keg, yada yada, through your condenser. And when you take that heat away, as soon as it starts to get a little bit of cooling, the gases, steam, air, whatever, on the inside condenses, and then that causes a vacuum, and it will make your steel implode. It will suck in on itself.
That's crazy.
And they're very expensive because the copper is real expensive that they use. They have to use big sheets of it, and they're tough to
And
make.
once it's
So-
destroyed, it's done, right? Like it's a one and done kind of a
I
deal.
think some people have tried to pressure rise them and push it back out, but you've got creases and stuff. You
yeah,
know,
it's never going to be
which-
a strong.
Yeah.
Right, correct. But I mean, you could still use it. I've seen some people use some that were all beat up and kind of smashed in, but they're not as efficient.
Do
and there's more of a chance of leakage.
Okay. Do guys
So-
that are doing this, yourself included, are there different styles?
Allegedly.
Exactly. Allegedly. If you were.
You're
yeah.
on a TV show doing it.
That's why I love that he said that.
You know what? The fact that I make moonshine with hillbillies and hide from the police on camera is hilarious.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is the
man.
greatest joke going.
So,
right?
Beaz, so obviously.
Well,
we've
should we
t-
play the thing real
Okay,
quick? Because
yeah,
that ties in perfectly.
Because we've been talking to you about moonshiners for a while, and I just always assumed, I was like, all right, I know moonshining and stuff used to be, probably more popular back, like if you go even further back in Prohibition, that's kind of when it started, and then it's always been on the black market kind of thing. But over the years, I just assumed that because there's a show about it, and the laws have relaxed against moonshine, and I haven't seen any stories about moonshiners getting arrested anytime, But then 2 weeks ago, I see a story about a Florida
Not even,
moonshiner.
it was like 5 days ago.
Or 5 days ago, getting arrested in Alabama for basically taking how many 81 gallons of
81.
moonshine.
Here, check this
He's
out.
got
This
an
is-
awesome name, by the
This
way.
is from WDHN News, courtesy of them.
With some wild news from the Wiregrass, a man is caught with dozens of gallons of moonshine.
It happened in Ozark earlier this month. Ozark police found 81
Look at
gallons
that.
of moonshine. Authorities say 61-year-old Learndis Hamilton was traveling from
Learndis Hamilton. When I heard that name, I was like, oh my God. Cartoons and stereotypes do exist.
Whatever it was, he did it. Learned this.
Do you know I ran that name through ChatGPT because I was like, Learndis. There's got, what is what is the origin
Right.
of Learndis?
And
And Leandis, L-E-A-N, or with no R, L-E-A-N-D-I-S, is a Greek name. The only place, and this is according to ChatGPT, this is literally a statement from AI. The only place you will find this name is Appalachian area.
No, really.
wow.
They're like the only, and then it listed, hold on, I'll go to the list. It said the only place you will find this name is Southern Appalachian. It is a variation of the Greek Leander lineage. It was bastardized. You'll find it in North Georgia, Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, and North Alabama only.
Huh. That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
And it's the people who ordinarily would say, if that was in New York, it'd be Leandis. But down where they say taters, how about them tomatoes? Well, it's got to be Learndis.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, I was like, man, people are
81.
still getting arrested for, I guess, and transporting it across state lines is another, I think.
Well, the federal laws are still intact all over the nation from coast to coast, but there are a number of states that will allow you to distill for personal use.
Okay.
Now, it is still a federal offense in those states, but that state has decided they're not going to use resources, they're not going to use their highway patrol or their local police to go search out people making moonshine. They got bigger fish to fry. They're looking for opiates and fentanyl and meth labs, all that stuff. So I know Missouri is one of those states. Missouri, if above 21 years of age, living in a home that person can distill legally 100 gallons a year.
Okay, wow.
And they will do it for an additional 21 plus year old in that household. It's maxed out at 2 people. But if you and your wife, of course, if you're moonshine and you and your old lady,
Right. Thank you. Yeah, put it in learned this terms.
ain't
please.
learned this,
Yeah.
ain't learned this in them, you could have 200 gallons of freaking moonshine for personal use. That's a lot of liquor.
Yeah.
You figure 200 gallons spread over just 12 months.
Yeah.
Dude, that is the bachelor party.
Yeah.
You go blind.
That's the end. That's the end. Yeah.
But also that's the loophole that I'm sure a lot of moonshiners use because and then it's like you do 200 gallons and then maybe you work at another 200
Yeah,
gallons.
nobody's
Who's counting?
coming and looking, and they're
Right.
not. And I guarantee you, that in Missouri, they're not going to make sure that you still have that or your empties. That's just for your use.
Yeah.
So and the way moonshine got started way back, it was a thing. It was a way for people to make money. Way back, everybody had their little homestead and they had their corn patch, and they would go to town once a month. They'd load 300 pounds of corn on their mule or 400, whatever, take it in the town and sell it. That was their subsistence, They would take it to sell it, but everybody had corn. They didn't get a lot of money for it. And then they got hip to the fact, well, if I had 400 pounds of freaking corn liquor on this mule and took it to town, I'd make 10 times the money. And so that's how it became so prevalent in all these rural areas. Moonshine, and our most famous kickback, throwback moonshiner was George Washington. He was heavily into liquor making, and there's a George Washington recipe, a highly coveted recipe for corn liquor that they've done. And I don't know if he added barley and stuff. I'm not real familiar with it, but they've actually chronicled that on different versions of the Moonshiner show to go back and show his old recipe. So people have been distilling for, I'm sure, way before George Washington even. But that's how far it goes. Yeah, that's how far it goes back, and it got to be really popular because people needed to make money. Way before Prohibition or any of that was a deal, people in these rural areas, man, that had to sell their crops for subsistence or pelts or whatever, learned that liquor, distilled spirits, were a money maker for them. And so that's how so many people got to learning and delving into the distillation arts.
Is it when you're talking moonshine, are you talking truly, for the most part, like 90% this is something you're consuming and drinking? Or are there any other applications to moonshine that like maybe pioneers would have used or people would have used at that time?
Well, alcohol is a solvent. And so when you're running a still, you're going to get jars. If you lit a jar at a time, you're going to get jars from 70% liquor all the way up to 80. You can get 170, 180 proof. And so it has to be tempered down, which in the distillation terms, tempering means lower the proof.
Yeah.
By adding spring water or whatever, or part of your run that has lower proof, because the run starts out real high and then tapers as it finishes off. But you can clean grease off of car parts with it. There's all kinds of stuff. You can use it as an antiseptic when it's high proof. Burn like hell, on your arm or whatever, but there are lots of uses.
Well, you were talking about your flamethrower even there. Like, you can't run moonshine out of your flamethrower, can you?
You
Can you
can.
run a full-blown moonshine flamethrower? Because that would be your trick. You come out with your moonshine flamethrower, one blast over the audience, and then they're ready to go. Now they're warmed up.
Right, but you can barely see the flame.
Right.
You know, when alcohol burns, sometimes it's clear. You know, back when the Formula race cars that run on alcohol.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember back when they would have fire in the pits and you couldn't see the flame at all.
Yeah, the invisible fire. And
Correct.
And people, I've seen videos of this, and the person is like, I'm on fire, and you can't see it.
Yeah.
And then the person's freaking out, and it's bizarre, and the person is on fire.
Because it hurts like the orange fire, but it's not.
Yeah, you just can't see it. It's invisible. It's
Right.
weird.
So that's why in my flamethrower, which I have brought to show you guys because I've mentioned it on the show, and I happen to have it in the car. Because why? I'm from the South.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy times out there right now. You never know. You got to carry your flamethrower.
Well, luckily you're in Florida, and I believe you're allowed to carry flamethrowers.
I think you're encouraged.
Yeah.
And
I
you
should take it into Publix if I want.
And this flamethrower here, do I need to hold this up to get it?
Yeah, hold it up
okay.
a little bit if you
So
don't
where
mind.
did you get this? Now,
This
Beaz-
was gifted to me.
Okay.
This is the flamethrower.
Yeah,
It's the
that's a pulse fire.
exothermic pulse fire. This is what I call a concealed carry
I agree.
flamethrower. You could actually hook up a shoulder holster and carry this under your big pea coat.
Put that in your fanny pack.
If you wanted to, but it holds 1 quart of I'll call it accelerant. I use gasoline. It's not propane. It's
All
not the propane ones that girls use. It's a spewing, flaming gasoline flamethrower, which if you had a quart of gasoline, we would go squirt this sucker out in the front.
We have. It just so happens it's under my desk.
And it takes just moments to...
Oh, how quickly would they call the cops if we're shooting a flamethrower? and
It only
balls-
squirt. You only get 20 sequends out of it. So we're
Well, that's a
boom
long
and
time,
done.
Beaz.
Yeah.
Well, if you're doing two,
Hold on, counter 20.
we like to do 10 2-second bursts.
Oh,
is
yeah,
what
yeah,
we
yeah,
like
yeah.
to
Two.
do, sir.
2 10-second bursts. You
For
heard
the
man.
effect. But
Have you burned anything with it fun? Like, I don't know.
well,
like,
I've lit some people's bonfires with it,
Okay.
and some brush piles, and so shot some weeds out of somebody's ditch. Any excuse.
Yeah, any excuse to use
Any
it.
excuse.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. There's a wasp nest.
Oh, yeah. For wasps,
Oh.
that'd be great. Just take your whole house down, like.
You could charge money to have someone shoot a wasp nest with a flamethrower. I feel like, or even hold on, where do you even purchase a flamethrower? Because I know it
Well, it was
wasn't.
gifted to
It's
him. He
online.
didn't-
Exothermic is the brand name. They make several of them. Mine is the exothermic pulse fire, and when I received this as a gift, it was hooked to the. There's a picture of it right there.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh wow, it is shooting a stream of
Yeah,
fire.
it's like heaving.
Now there's one of their big ones there. This one fits on the rail under the barrel of your AR that you put your flashlight on.
Okay, so this will literally
Oh
slide
yeah, look,
onto
there
an
he is.
AR.
There he is. He's got
Right
it on
there,
the bottom of
that's
his
it,
AR.
right there.
So right before you execution murder someone in Publix, you burn them with your flamethrower. That's what I would do.
Or just after, depending on what kind of.
True. Shoot them first and burn them right there in the deli section.
So now, when you're shooting this,
Wow.
Beaz, are
Hold
you
on, I'm gonna put this up for everybody else. Let me see if I can find this.
So
for
similar. Okay, so when you're a kid and you're spraying some can of aerosol and then lighting with a lighter and then
Right.
making a flamethrower
Well,
that
we just
way.
did
right?
potato cannons. That's about as good as
Yeah.
I got into land.
So like there was always that fear, even though I don't think it's possible for the fire to come back into
The can and
the
blow you
yeah, and
up.
blow you up, which is an urban legend because it cannot come through the straw and even get into the can. But are you worried about that at all when you're shooting this? Like,
Not really, because this is a professional, actually made and vetted, had to go through whatever processes you go through, and it has an internal pump. You charge it up with a wall wart. You plug it into the wall wart, and it charges a battery in it, which runs the pump that pumps your gasoline through the front, and also supplies the spark to the electrodes that make the arc that keeps the flame lit. So
it looks like the front of it, like it looks like taser,
like taser prongs.
prongs that
Yeah.
that will like come together, kind of like a barbecue grill, and then create the spark that will light the accelerant, the gas, and it shoots out 20 feet.
It's impressive.
Shoots 20 feet. Now, what I want to do is, and I'll go ahead and broach this with you guys because I need investors.
Yeah.
Is we want to start the Killer Beaz flamethrower birthday party.
All right, okay, I'm in.
Candle lighting, burn the tail on the donkey, blazer tag, meet a disgruntled firefighter. I think it would, and we can franchise it out.
Now, have you
Hold on. Imagine. Okay, hold on. What about this? You know the suits that like the people wear when they go to volcanoes,
right?
Like those big,
like the thermal suits,
moon man suits,
yeah.
right? Like imagine having 2 flamethrowers and you're on some sort of paintball course and you're actually fighting each other.
Okay, wait. So it's fireman versus paintball boys, like.
No, you're just you have 2 flamethrowers and you're in the volcano suits, and then you're just shooting the flamethrowers at each other. Like, you know,
how do you win?
You die, or the other person dies. You know, like, obviously you don't die, and that's the winner.
And we can use a pickleball course for that.
I like this. Already burned hot. Let's.
There'll be a couple of adjustments. Kevlar net instead of just your regular net. That, and then
save us some money.
That's pretty much all the rules.
I love that.
I like chainmail. I'm a big fan of chainmail. It doesn't get used that much. I like a chainmail net.
Now, is this your only hobby? Like, because I thought last time you were here, you were talking guitars, right?
Right.
Are you still playing guitar?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you were telling me you got 8 guitars.
Yeah, I'm down to only 8 guitars, which is kind of sad.
How many did you have at your most?
I think my most I ever had was 13.
That's a lot. That's a lot
Something
of guitars.
like that.
Yeah.
Do you have
even 8's a lot of guitars.
So
do you display them so that people see? Or do you have them in your music room?
Yeah, they're all upstairs in my guitar room.
Okay, yeah.
We have a 3-car garage, and there's a bonus room above it. And when we were building that house, I was managed by Reba McEntire's company, and we were doing cutting some tracks in her studio on Music Row. And we're telling them that we were going to put a guitar room in the house. And they go, well, how are you going to soundproof it? We go, we don't know yet. It may be foam. We go, no, come here. And they showed me the how they built her studio. It's a room inside a room.
Yeah.
They showed us the designs of it and all like that. So we did our upstairs room like that. You go up some steps off the little breakfast nook, and it takes 2 doors to get into it. They're like 4 inches apart, so there's a wall inside a wall, so there's that dead air space. And,
I bet that sounds lovely though. For like, even if you just want a spot in the house to go think.
Why do they do it like that instead of just adding sound?
Because dead air, the airspace doesn't carry the same vibration that some insulation in there, like even foam insulation will vibrate.
Okay.
And you've got to have a dead airspace because air doesn't carry the vibrations as well as another solid structure that's touching the inner wall.
All right.
And so we did a double floor, and then we did walls inside a wall. I have the one back wall that's brick, that's not a double wall, but it's all brick. And I do get some bleed out from my window that's up there. So I really should get myself a piece of sound deadening stuff or foam or something to put in that window. But other than that, if I'm up there, and I don't play super loud up there, but downstairs it sounds like maybe there's a radio on somewhere in the house playing really bad music.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you have your own recording studio. Like you probably record inside there and like.
Yeah, I've got a few little deals that I can record on, and that's what I like to do. I like to play lead guitar to backing tracks. I'll just bring all these different backing tracks up on YouTube and stuff. And
I was telling TC about that. Like I've gotten back into. I set up all my drums again when my daughter helped me set them all up, and I really took my time and did it the way I would have done it back in the day when I was gigging. You know?
Right.
So I didn't do it quick. I took a long time to make sure that, and this is going to sound silly, not to drummers, to you guys maybe, but like something like the floor tom, making sure when I'm sitting in front of my kit that when I go to hit that floor tom, that it feels perfect. I'm talking about not even an inch off. Like every time I go to hit it, it's in the right spot.
On the head
that takes
even.
a long time of kind of playing it, and you move it a little bit, and you play a little more, and you move it a little bit, and you play, and you move it a little bit. And I did that for a very long time, but the backing tracks that you can just get with no drums on YouTube. You can get any song in the world that you want to play.
Right.
From any artist
Right.
in the world. Even artists that are weird that like that you
obscure.
don't think somebody has done. Well, you might be surprised. Check. Before you poo-poo it, check it, because somebody may have done it. I'm talking punk rock songs that you shouldn't be on there, that people have gone in and removed the drums, and you can go in and play any song you want. And if you want to learn it, there's a guy on there or a kid that will teach you, like, hey, here's the easy way to learn how to play, like Rosanna from Toto, the Purdy Shuffle.
Yeah,
Here,
yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
show you how to do that. Here's a kid. He'll show you. He'll break it down. He'll say, do this first, and you do it. And he's like, do this next, and you do it. And next thing you know how to do it. Do you find that you get
Right.
lost in that?
I find that it is very humbling.
It is humbling.
to watch a 9-year-old
Yeah,
go
man.
like
Yeah, you're being
that.
a little old on the age too. I'm talking like some of
Right.
these kids. Like honestly, you're looking at them, and you're like, first of all, I didn't know that 9-year-olds knew how to turn on a computer, let alone and they're editing their own video. It's like sometimes it's more impressive that like, okay, look, I get it that you know how to play piano, 9-year-old, but how did you cut your own video and edit it and put it up there to help me?
Right.
Crazy.
And now this, do you record yourself when you're
I can
play into the tracks?
I can.
I
yeah.
do that religiously, man, because I learned by going, okay, that sucked. I will never again put my finger on that dot on that string during the key. If everybody else is in A minor, I will never ever. But I always record it, and the stuff that doesn't just make me sick, I'll keep that, and that's what I listen to when I write.
Yeah.
Or when I'm doing chores around the house, just instrumental stuff, me trying new licks. There's some great Allman Brothers backing tracks that I'll just make up my own guitar parts to. So that's what I like to do. That's fun to me.
It is fun, and it feels like you're doing something for your brain, like the way that I do it now, and I'm doing something really weird.
And you are doing something for your brain. You really are, man, because you're using a lot of awareness, listening, time, everything that helps your brain stay active.
It feels good. Like it feels you feel good after you're doing
like
it.
exercise for your brain.
Correct. So I go in and what I do is I do drums because I know drums, right? Like I went to school for drums. So I'll do 30 minutes of drums, and then I jump over and there's a chair right beside my drum set. I get in my chair, I get out my guitar, and I sign myself up for online guitar lessons, but for theory. Because where I really am not good is like my ear is great. I can hear things and I can pick it. And like if you gave me 10 minutes to learn a melody, I'll learn it. It's easy. I'll learn how to do it. But I won't know what the hell I'm doing. What notes are you playing, Dan? Couldn't tell you. Never been able to tell you any note I've played ever in my life.
And
So I'm
I
learning theory now, and I find that it is hard. I wish I was a child learning theory because it's so much easier when you're a kid to learn theory.
Right.
But I'm forcing myself every night. I do like 20 minutes of it, and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But like last night I'm learning chords and I'm playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and I have to call out each note I'm playing, E, A, G, and then it's hard.
Oh, that's good.
And it is very important. Aspiring guitar players, it's important to learn every note on your guitar. I laid in bed one night and counted notes and frets in my head all the way up and down the fretboard on all 6 strings over and over until I know where every note is. And then you have to get hip to the concept of the number system, like a 1-4-5.
Yeah.
With a 6-2 added in.
Yes.
Which is intervallic.
Well, there's all different systems
Yeah.
and all different ways that people kind of teach you to, so you can almost basically improv on the guitar. So you're doing more lead stuff. Like Beaz is a real guitar player. I'm just trying to get up to speed so I know what the hell I'm playing.
Well, I'm not a real guitar
it.
player, but I do know enough that if I see, okay, this is a 7th chord.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, a freaking 7th chord. But if I know the root is an E, which is number 8, there's like 8 notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so the 1 through 8 means each different one. So if it's a 7th chord, I go, you know what? Well, my root, which is my E, I'm going to go back one number, one step to a D. I'll add this D in here to this chord, and then that makes it a 7th chord.
And then what blows people's minds is you talk about this, you're using these letters and you're talking about it, and then it's all just math. It's literally
right.
It's literally just, if you're good at math, you can be good at
And I've heard
music.
the phrase math rock. I've heard that tune, math rock.
Yeah, when those guys are like super technical and they literally get in there and they like their music becomes equations. You know, like it's insane.
Yeah. Now your son plays guitar, right?
Right. Our youngest son, Sky, has is working on an album he's going to put on Spotify, and he has composed all this stuff, and he plays bass and guitar, and he'll do horn parts on guitar, and then kind of transpose it in the word, but synthesize them into saxophone and stuff. Well, I will let y'all hear one a little bit later on, because they're not copywritten yet, so we can't put them out on the air. But there's some where he does all these saxophone parts on guitar, and he was telling me the other day, he goes, I'm going to change that and make those parts sitar instead of sax. He goes, and I go, well, did you play all those horn parts? He goes, I played most of them. He goes, but there are some combination of notes that you can play on a saxophone that you cannot play on a guitar, because you don't have as many fingers or something.
Sure.
Or I think there's, and I'm not a horn player, but you can have a bunch of different pads pressed on a horn that you can't reach and do the same thing the way a guitar is set up. So there's some, but he knows all that, but he does just killer stuff that we're just agog.
It's
Every time we hear it, just
you ever jam with your son together?
Yes, and it is.
That's cool.
It's terrible. It is awful. I'll be up in my little guitar room doing my 3 little blues notes, with different dots, and he'll come up and pick up his guitar, and like 10 seconds in, I'm like setting my guitar down.
Yeah.
Okay. Dad, play this. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I gotta let my fingers rest, son. I've been up here all day trying to do this. So he shreds. Matter of fact, we bought tickets. One of his Christmas gifts is we've got tickets to see the Steve Vai, Joe Satriani band.
Yeah.
They've put a band together, Satch Vai, and they're playing in Mobile at the Sanger Theater, and we've got tickets to go see them.
We
talked to
interviewed
Joe.
both guys. Yeah, we
Oh,
talked
really?
to them both when they were putting this tour together.
Okay.
And actually, I think Joe had just entered his Van Halen. He was doing that thing with Sammy for a second.
Right.
And then it was right before this is happening. Yeah, that's going to be great, man.
Yeah. And at one point in time, they were saying that Animals as leaders, who is Tosin Abasi, a real technical player that plays like 8 and 9 strings. He does like bass slap on guitar.
Yeah, it's a wild technique.
But he's not going to be there, so I don't know who's going to be opening for it. But
cool to see these
that's
monster
be
guitar
a
players
fun
touring
thing.
together.
Yeah.
Is like you used to get that back in the 80s. You get like those Monsters of Rock tour where it's like it's the best of everything in one tour.
Yeah.
They're trying to do that with like the Rockville thing, but it's not the same. I like these where you get like all the main lead guitar guys that you like. That Surfing with the Alien album will forever be.
Yeah.
I grew up on that, so that was like always huge to me.
I remember the video from Surfing with Satch Boogie. And that was before Joe Satriani ever had braces.
I didn't know he had braces.
He had some kind of jaw surgery. He had
I did
wear
not know
braces
that.
for a little bit.
Oh my God!
So, and there's another band. One of the guys from Blackberry Smoke, and who's this kid? Dang, I can't remember him right now, but a high profile player.
Yeah,
they've put a band. I think it's called the Toys something. I don't think it's Toys in the Attic.
Kind of like an Aerosmith style. Like
or
I remember
something,
that album.
yeah. But anyway, Marcus King.
Oh,
is
I love
playing
Marcus
with him.
King.
Yeah, he's in that band.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, Marcus
right.
is an amazing player too. Yeah, like he's a Carolina guy, and he's like on my bucket list to see live. It's
Crazy
Marcus.
good player, man. Plays a big three. I've seen him play everything, but lately he's been playing a big red 335.
Yeah, that's his normal axe. But what's weird for him is that like he, I remember, I forget the name of the guitar shop he was on. He played. Here's a guy that's like a kid. He had a band. He's working and playing.
Yeah.
He goes on this one YouTube channel. It's like what's like Norman's Famous Guitars or some channel.
Yeah.
He plays one song and then it's like that's it. Everybody saw you. So
Well-
now you're off to the right. And he already was doing it, but it's like that the internet got a hold of him and was like, well, do you have to be it now? And then he started making big name records. He got with Dan Auerbach from what's the name of that band? The two piece that does the laid back stuff. Anyway, you know what? Welcome back to the show where we don't know who anybody we're talking about is.
And you guys are asking me like I know. I don't know nothing. All I want to do is shoot that flamethrower.
Digger Manus, that came out your nose. I saw that. Digger Manus from the Moonshiner Show was at a many years ago at a Warren Haynes concert. And he said this kid comes, and he's talking with Haynes, his manager. He knows him, and this kid comes up to him and goes, "Hey, my name's Marcus, and I love playing guitar, and I'm pretty good at it. And could you get Mr. Haynes to listen to my CD?" And Digger tells Warren's manager, "Man, let's take that kid's CD, throw him a bone." So he took it back there to Warren Haynes, and he played one track off of it, and he went, "Go get that kid," and brought him back there, and he let him jam with him on stage that night.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a true
As a matter of fact. Yeah, but I just love that he goes, "I love playing guitar, and I'm pretty good."
Yeah, he's a pretty humble guy.
The guys that are great are understated like that, man, and I love seeing that.
Yeah.
Unlike me, y'all, I'm the best comedian ever. This Saturday night, Saturday.
Yep.
Ormond Beach Performing Arts Center.
Well,
Yep.
you're at a good venue. It's always a pleasure seeing you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing the flamethrower by.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some cake next time to have Beaz light it up.
And again, get your tickets at killerbeaz, BEAZ.com. And again, anywhere near the Ormond Beach Performing Arts Center, you got to go by and see Killer Beaz January 31st.
You'll love it.
Beaz, thanks so much for coming by.
Appreciate
Love
you,
y'all,
buddy.
man. Thank y'all, and I'm glad I got to show you my flamethrower.
Well, we appreciate you bringing it in, and guys, we will be right back. Got it. Let me save that. Beaz, thank you, buddy.
Thank you, dude.
Nice, gentlemen.
That's great.
Thank you for talking guitar
Y'all
with
are
me.
good at that. Y'all are the best, man.
Yeah.
Let me save that, man. Good to see you. Love you. Love you. Where are you putting that, T?
I don't know yet.
Okay, I'll just find
Either
it.
tonight or tomorrow it's gonna play. I know it is freezing.
When are y'all doing another cruise?
Maybe in 2027. We're talking about it.
Y'all do one.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
It just depends on what it is. We were trying to find a deal with we didn't want to do the same exact one we did last year, but
Right.
so we got a cruise guy. He's looking for opportunities now, but it'll probably be in 2027. But I'll reach
Okay.
out to you guys.
Yeah.
If we end up doing it, it just depends on if it's a good deal and
Oh,
we
I-
get,
I get it. Yeah, we get it, man.
Guys, we're going to do a quick scene change. We'll be right back
All right,
with
love y'all,
Love Thy Neighbor. I did make a song. for
You
today.
did?
I did. We haven't used it though. Tom, I made a song.
Okay.
Haven't even used it. Let me get rid of that.
Let's play it.
All right.
Then
We can play it. It'll be good. It'll start Love Thy Neighbor well. All right. Save that. You want to start?
Sure.
Here we go. I got to fix Colette's. You look
Am I
great.
good?
But yeah, no, you're fine. It's just that I was at a center it up. Are you too cold?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm already warming up.
We got a new air conditioner,
Ooh.
courtesy of our landlord. And
nice.
we don't know if it works or
You
not.
don't need it.
Yesterday, we needed it yesterday. It did not work. So.
Yeah. Yesterday was hot as hell in
Hot
here.
as hell. And we opened the doors and we're like, why haven't we done this? It was great.
I know yesterday was beautiful, and now today is like
You know
the
something
biggest
awesome
mind
that I
F.
found out yesterday?
What?
We see these soundproofing towels we have on here. When you open the doors, it's more quiet. in here.
Okay,
really?
do you know? Do you want to hear a true
It's
blonde
just as
moment?
loud.
I
Look.
never knew those were soundproofing tiles.
Yeah, they
till
are.
this
They
minute.
are. They don't do much good.
I thought
though,
they
when,
were just like pop-up
they
art.
don't do much good when Javier stands outside blowing our mat for 12 minutes. I'm like, 12 minutes?
Oh, isn't that the worst? It's
12
always
minutes.
when I have a client in there that's in the most tense.
And it's a mousy
and
client, right? They're like,
moment.
and they go like this. They're like, so I'm gonna tell you why my husband abuses me. And they're 12 minutes, and then they're like,
you're just
and they're just going.
It's always when we're recording, the guys right out there blowing. I'm like, thanks a lot.
It's a moment of true trauma.
And then he grabbed me by the. And then you can't hear. You're like, what? Say it again.
Oh, it
Go through your
drives
trauma
me
again and again.
You'll have to shout it over the leaf blower.
All right, good warm up. That was a great warm up. You can tell that Colette's in had it mode because she's been doing it. She's been doing it. What'd you think of my comic book? Owns a comic book store. That picture. Should have left the hat on.
No, you look adorable.
It's the only photo I've ever taken where people have actively said under it, I don't like this photo.
Oh,
Somebody said that. I'm like, wow, holy shit.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Well, yeah.
What the fuck? What? Who says
You're
that?
gonna blame Tracy for sending that one because we were just taking a bunch of shit
Yeah,
and we
Tracy,
didn't.
there's a ton of
That was
photos
the
that you
same
picked the
day-
one where I look like a slee stack from Land of the Lost.
And that was the same day we
I
had
look like a fucking slee stack.
Tony came over and then was taking photos of us and taking other ones and then hat, not hat, and like a bunch of stuff. We didn't even get to see them, and all of a sudden, Colette puts out
Oh,
promo.
wait, no, not a slee stack.
And then,
I got the wrong one.
And then I'm like, oh shit, there's a photo of me from today. And then one more, I'm like, oh no, moonshiner.
well, my lunch team was like, Tom and Dan don't have
Yeah.
headshots.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah,
Ice in the moonshiner. Ice in the moonshiner.
Yeah, we don't do much like normal media, Colette, where we're doing like out there, we're doing,
Yeah, they're like, where's your headshot? Where's your headshot? What the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
I'm too busy for a headshot.
We're
Headshot?
talking. We're talking experts.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not, we're
You
not
wanna
for
see
the
my
eyes.
headshot? That's my headshot.
Yeah.
We should have used that one.
We're audio only. Anyway, all right.
Land of Lost. I gotta find a picture of these hairy things on Land of the Lost. Maybe I'm envisioning something different, but there were these creatures. They were like long hair on the. Look like Captain Caveman. Remember Captain? Captain Caveman.
I thought the pictures
yeah.
were great.
Oh,
We're
you
all
should-
critical of our own images.
Captain Cave. Yeah, look, I look
look
like
like-
fucking Captain.
Wait, is it pulled up there?
You need a
I
big.
look like fucking Captain Caveman.
You need a big wooden club.
You know what? I'm going as Captain Caveman for Halloween, but you know the trick for everybody else? I'm gonna be full nude, hair all just like Lady Godiva right in front.
Oh my God. Okay,
All right.
I'm not going to that
We
party.
got it all out. I wasn't
Okay.
inviting you anyway. Oh shit!
Good to know.
One of those shows. Tom and
Burn.
Colette, Dan and Colette are
Meanwhile,
fighting.
right when I went on Jim Colbert last week, the first thing someone wrote in who listens to the
What
show.
did he- was he mean?
And no, not at all. And said, you can be silly with her, which is very true. She laughs the entire show, like talking about Love Thy Neighbor,
Oh, okay.
which is true. I feel like I already have tears in my eyes from giggling.
Jimmy said he loved you on the show. By the way, I was there
loved
yesterday.
being there. Yeah, he's so great.
He's a little handsy too, so
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
He'll Biden massage your shoulders.
Yeah, he will. He'll start grabbing you, like you'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
talking to him. You'll be like, "I had a great thing," and he'll be
He
like,
does
"Oh,
that.
Yeah.
He
They
did
don't-
not Joe
yeah.
Biden me. I will say, for the record.
I will say the last time my wife and I were in there, he tried to take my wife's bra off
Wow, maybe I
Yeah.
should be like insulted.
with his teeth.
I didn't get that treatment.
All right,
let's do
you hit it, Mr.
Yeah, yeah.
Van. Here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome to the show. Colette Jane Fair is on the couch with us, as always, longtime relationship therapist. Her book release party is this week.
Yes, sir.
Pre-order the book, ColetteJaneFair.com. It's F-A-H-R.
It's actually
oh.
F-E-H-R.
Damn it! He was so
okay.
close.
You don't
he
have
was
to
so
know
close.
me.
He was killing it. He was getting it all. He was like, I did this. I did this. I did this. And you know what? Now I'm going to spell it because I'm super confident. Here we go. Oh.
And then Tom doesn't know my name.
Why'd you get that? He got so confident. He got to the front. They're like, do you want to spell it? He's like, yes, I do.
But even easier.
Hold on a second. You don't know. Neither of us know how to spell anything. If anyone puts a gun to our head and says, hey, spell it, I'm like, hey, can you give me something else? Not a speller. We're not spellers.
It's a direct result to I did a couple things right, and I'm like, I could do everything right. Watch it, and then of course I can't.
Confidence.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
I appreciate the effort, and also I found an easier way to promote the book in terms of like easy access. TheCostOfQuiet.com.
All right, that's
which
great.
is the name of the book and
go.
easy to spell. TheCostOfQuiet.com. I've had it the whole time, and I'm walking around saying Colette Jane Fair, which is like ridiculous.
TheCostUU.
Tom's trying to redeem himself
What is it?
by pretending like he can't spell.
All right, let's get to it.
Okay, in order to cleanse the palate, it is very cold outside. I wrote a song about it being really cold. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, just songs fall into my head.
Okay.
This one fell into my head because of how cold it is outside. Here we go. Let's do it. New song.
It's hard to take a dookie when it's this damn cold. I be sitting here shivering on this cold ass boat. Ain't nothing gonna ever fall out of my hole, 'cause it's hard to take a dookie when it's this damn cold.
I love it.
That's it. That's it. That's the whole song. It's done. It's just a sample.
What does that have to do with relationships?
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It's a relationship with the toilet bowl.
Yeah, it is. But my wife, I will say that my wife said, you all right in there? Because it is too cold to go number 2. Too cold in Florida to go number 2.
I think it works like that.
It's too cold. I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I was just sitting there. I was like, I got to warm up before
Up
anything
north, you have to have the heated seat.
Gotta have a heated seat.
But not everyone has a heated seat.
No.
I was thinking that this morning. How did I ever live in New York? I swear to God, not because of New York, but because of the cold.
Yeah,
It
you
is-
love New York. You just,
I love New York.
The weather, not so good.
Right. I love New York like May through October.
I'll say this. New York is awesome, and the weather can be awesome. It's not my favorite type of weather, but there are some people, like I have good friends of mine. Summer Aiello, a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
I mean, this is her weather.
Cold like this?
This is her time. Yeah, where it's like sunny outside but crisp.
Okay.
Like, but I mean cold, not like a little cold. I'm talking cold, like 40.
Okay,
Like
well, I
cold.
could do that better, like Colorado cold, where the sun is shining.
This is like a wet cold.
Yeah, this is just, I don't know, getting up in the morning early in the dark when it's this cold. I was like, there's just no way I could ever go back to this kind of life.
Well, also in Florida, we're not easing into it. It's like it's hot and then freezing for a while, then hot again. So it's like
it was 86 on Sunday.
Yeah, the difference is that's what gets us. Like
The swing is crazy.
Up north, it eases into cold. It's cold, and it's extra cold, extra cold. Like, we get hot, cold, hot. Anyway, so let's talk relationship real quick, Colette, because I saw, relationships have entered my algorithm since doing this show, and I'm getting a lot of stuff out there on social media, right?
Well, I almost feel like Tom and I have to do the necessary homework, like because of this show.
Yeah.
Like because it's top of mind.
forcing it.
And I'd also like to throw out there that if you actively seek out and listen to the show, you're doing the homework. You are.
Yeah.
Whether you've executed any of the homework that Colette's given you or stuff like that, whether you've done that or not, doesn't matter.
Keeping it top of mind.
Keeping it top of mind and
getting in
even
there.
thinking about it is a step forward.
Agreed.
Yes, sir.
Awareness.
So I got two things real quick, and then we'll get into some listener emails. But
Tom's been showing me up lately.
I've noticed in the stuff that I've been seeing that there's a lot about not becoming codependent on your partner, right?
Okay.
So, but it's hard for me to understand this because to me, I'm like, and I've talked about this a lot recently, that going through life with a partner, it's easier. It's just like easier having a co-pilot and, having a partner in life to share life with and also to accomplish things together and have, you got each other's back, right? But so, and we talked about it before, been with my wife since I was a teenager, and throughout all those years, and I remember the teen part.
I would too. Yeah. If I'd have met my wife as a teenager, it's like, you take some teenage snapshots that you'll have forever.
I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry.
Because old ladies are gross. You can quote me on that.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying what people are thinking. Yeah, we are extra crazy.
So back to codependence.
Should I play my Dookie song again?
We through going through life, my wife has taken over some responsibilities, and I've taken over other responsibilities, and you share stuff like that. But we've honestly gotten to the point where I don't even know how to get into my bank account anymore, or
I'm locked out of that.
She's done so much that I'm like, she's got it. She does all the stuff she's good at.
You know why I like that? Because if it fails, then I can blame her.
Well, the problem is I didn't
give it any effort.
I am kind of dependent on her, to the point where I'm like, man, if this lady dies, I'm screwed. I don't know nothing. And I can't do a lot of stuff. I was trying to ride the Metro Rail over the weekend, and I realized, anytime we're going someplace, my wife always does anything with a computer or any sort of kiosk.
Yeah.
And, I haven't used a kiosk in years. So I'm trying to...
No, you're like the old man at Quest for a blood test. He doesn't know how to run his ID with a little steady. I never help those people. I just let them sit there. No, I help. I actually do help.
And I feel like men get more codependent on their wives than wives do on their men. But
lazier.
Sometimes it is the opposite, where you rely on, whatever partner, you start becoming dependent on them. And then I'm like, well, how
that's not codependent. That's not codependent. Okay. So I want to relieve you.
Okay.
That what you're describing, you are dependent on a partner. And actually, I feel like codependency confuses people, and healthy dependence, we really call it in psychology healthy interdependence.
Okay.
Means you do rely on a spouse for things like you're describing. And maybe you're right. Men are more dependent in some ways, certainly emotionally, probably on women. Women have a lot of friends that men tend to only get those needs met in the relationship. But I'm speaking in generalizations. But the codependency piece is when you really lose yourself. You operate out of you're so worried about that other person's reactions. Now, I'm not saying this might not also fit.
Okay.
But it's just different. Relying on your partner for things is normal. That's what I'm trying to say. But healthy interdependence is when you also retain a sense of self. So you're a unit, but you're also still an individual I, which means you don't always agree, and you can express that you disagree nicely, and that generates actually some intimacy and keeps the relationship fresh and alive. Codependency really has its origins in the addiction world, when people would lose themselves, meaning they would just not do what was right for them to save or rescue someone else.
Okay.
And that comes from guilt or lies or desire to minimize discomfort. So the classic case would be somebody has an addicted family member, and many of us have been there. It's not so easy. Yeah. It's not it comes from the desire to help, but it can be that you end up enabling that person to continue with their addictive behavior. So that's where codependency comes from.
It's enabling someone too. Okay.
But when you say, if you were to say, let me not put words in your mouth, I just say yes because it's easier and I don't want to argue or disappoint, that can be something that's veering into codependency. Whereas relying on your spouse for emotional support, for part of the equation of being partners in life, that's normal.
Okay, well, I do both too.
All right, so we can diagnose you. Check.
Check it a check.
Just tell me what you want me to say to end this.
There you go.
I love doing that.
And I think a lot of people would agree with what you just said. A lot of people are doing it. So you can have a codependent behavior without being a full-blown codependent. Or it's you'll do whatever you have to do to just keep the peace and not make rough waters, and because it's so uncomfortable, and you can really lose yourself in that process.
Gotcha. Okay. So dependence and codependence, different things.
Yes.
I was confusing them because I was like, man, I'm dependent on this lady.
Yes. And that would be weird if you weren't.
I think we all depend on, I kind of echoing what you're saying, but codependency. Can you give me another example of that you see? What's the most common example that you see of codependency in troubled relationships?
In troubled
relationships? Yeah.
Well,
Where does it go sour?
It probably is a lot with addiction. Like like
bringing the cake to the person who has a food addiction. Is that a simple version of
where you ignore your partner's addiction and you're basically enabling them? You're kind of turning a blind eye because it's easier than facing it, and then you do it to each other. And so because you're doing it to them, they're doing it to you, so you both can be addicted. I've seen that before.
Right. Yeah, and the simplest way to really look at it is when you're rescuing someone, right? You're taking more of their responsibility on you, where each person should be responsible for themselves. So if you're scurrying around to make it easy for someone to keep doing something, even if it doesn't work for you at all, so it could be an addictive behavior, it could be workaholism, it could be anything really like that, but it doesn't have to be something addictive. I think in many relationships, it does show up when people have been together for a long time, right? Or if they got together young, and you're just so used to turning to that other person for answers or doing whatever you can to make that person happy, even when something doesn't work for you. That's when it becomes a problem. But it's not necessarily because you've been together years. A lot of times this behavior has a root in childhood. If you grow up in a household where there's arguing, or one parent is really domineering, or there's abuse, there's so many scenarios, right? You might learn to be really agreeable and just do whatever it takes to lower the volume and the temperature in the household. And that can turn into doing the same thing with a committed partner later in life, or in the workplace, friendships, right? There are those people who never have an opinion. They don't care. They'll say yes to whatever, or they'll say yes when they mean no because they don't want to upset somebody. Those are codependent behaviors.
Gotcha. What about asking your wife where something is without even looking for it?
Oh, I do that.
That's called laziness.
All right.
I got that too. Oh, we love doing that.
Not even. I'll just think of what I want and then just yell it out. And my wife's in the shower or whatever. I'm like,
spatula!
And I won't even attempt to even start looking for it.
I actually go one step further. I sit down like a baby would. I sit where I'm at because I figure it's easy for her to find me if I just stay in one spot. So I sit down and I put my hands like, spatula.
So,
oh my God. Okay, so I'm realizing I'm probably
pan. I yell non-stick pan a lot. That's what because I'm a cook.
I'll say to Steve, like, oh, where's the Advil? When I know where the Advil is.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. What is that?
That's just being lazy.
Okay.
But I really do.
I've always thought of that one too. You know what I've thought that one is? I've analyzed this in myself. Man, I'm glad you said that. Because I do this with Andrea sometimes. The Advil one's great, where I'll be like, where's the...
Hey, do we have it? I'll say, do we have any Advil? Like, why don't I just go look?
Okay, and I will say something very similar to Andrea, like, where's the Alka-Seltzer or something like that. In fact, because I'm battling a little bit of a cold, I think I've done that. And I think one of the reasons I'm doing that is, like, subconsciously, I want to tell her that I'm, like, going through something. Oh. It's my way of signaling, like, hey, I want you to know that I'm not feeling good, so feel bad for me. You don't need that. I don't need that.
Aww.
It's fine. No. I'm getting better at not doing it because I'm like, that's just a silly flair for extra attention. You're fine. You're good. You don't even need to do that.
You want attention because I don't think there's anything wrong with
No,
that.
there isn't. But I also am glad that I'm figuring it out and being like, you don't need it. You're okay.
Yeah.
You're fine. You go get your Alka-Seltzer, take it. You don't need to ask for.
Yeah. Leave me alone. My God.
That is her. That is what she wants to say.
See, mine is just pure because I will say a million times, oh my God, I don't feel good. Like I'm so, if I'm wanting attention, I am directly seeking it and asking for it. But I think I've just gotten used to relying on Steve for things I could do on my own. Now, that may be a little like, come on, Colette, just get up and look yourself, and fair enough, but that's not codependence. I think the most common way I see it in troubled situations, it's not even troubled relationships because I feel like they're all a spectrum, right? Is that people will be in my office, and when we really get under the hood at what's happening, there's such mental gymnastics about not saying how you feel or what you think or doing what you want to do because of how you think the other person might receive it that might not even be how they receive it.
Oh, the overthink of the real feeling?
And getting 10 steps ahead about...
Is that the hardest thing for you to pull out of somebody is the true feeling because of this overthink?
I mean, I don't think it's that hard to pull out once you start probing in the way I do in this model of therapy. What's hard is to recondition it because it's so automated. Let's say, for example, you wanted to go, I'll just make up a scenario. You wanted to go away for the weekend with friends and you really want to go, but you're afraid to tell your spouse. You're sure they'll say no. You're sure they'll be mad. You're sure they'll think this, this, and this. And so then there's so much noise in your head, even maybe resentment that you can't go. You should be able to go. Well, maybe if I tell them that, right? There's so much stuff and noise that can be a sign of codependent behavior instead of saying, I don't really know how my partner is going to receive this, but I'd like to go, and let me at least broach that and be willing to hear what they have to say about it.
Oh, I like waiting till the night before, and then I tell
There you
Crystal
go.
so that she's only mad for like 6 hours,
Well,
and then I'm gone.
That is
Because if I tell her too early, then it's mad for a month.
This is a real thing he's told me that is like the secret of he'll say back, the secret of my success. And then he'll tell me this is the way he does it.
Yeah, like I'm leaving right now.
Yeah. where I've even told him before,
thing.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
why are you just not telling her? And he's like, you don't understand, man. He gives me one of those. He's like, you don't understand. If I told her
lessens the time of anger.
Yeah, if I told her 3 weeks in advance that I wanted to go on the gentleman's fishing trip, she would be mad for 3 weeks. If I tell her 6 hours before the trip, she's only mad for 6 hours.
And then I would wonder, is she more mad because you've also sprung it on her at the 11th hour?
Oh, yeah.
Good answer.
But it's a shorter time period.
Yeah. But it's hard to gauge how anger works, so I'm just like,
okay, but
mad.
that's the codependency thing, right? That's I'm glad you said that because that's like trying to gauge how it will land, when when it's better, instead of, I'm not saying there's nothing to, not springing something on your partner, like right when they've woken up or had a hard day of work. I'm not saying there's nothing to timing.
Are you awake?
I'm going on a trip in an hour.
I got another girl pregnant. Okay, bye, going to work.
But instead of trying to manage another person's emotions, which is a big feature of codependency,
sure,
is just saying and even naming a little like, hey, I'm afraid to bring this up. I'm a little afraid to bring this up because I think you're going to be angry with me and I don't want you to be mad at me, but I'd also really like to do this. Can we talk about it?
Every time I tell my wife, like, hey, I'm going to tell you something, don't get mad, and she's already mad.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I can tell by the look on her face. And then I'll do this. I'll get like, hey, don't get mad. And I'll be like, never mind.
But that's also very...
Do you do that one?
Very different what you're saying. Very different to say, hey, I got to tell you something, don't get mad. First of all, you're telling them how to feel.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, I love that.
What I'm suggesting is something
maybe
different.
I should phrase it like this. Hey, okay, so I said, I got something to tell you. Don't get mad. I should say like, hey, you like not getting mad, right? Like, that's a different way, right? That's different.
You love not being mad.
Oh my God, what am I going to do with you?
Not mad says what?
Or you could try Tom's favorite strategy of being a little vulnerable and honest about how you're feeling, which is what I'm really suggesting, to go to someone and say, listen, I want to tell you something, and I want to share something with you that I'd like to do, but it's scary for me because I'm afraid you're going to get mad.
He'll never say that. Not afraid of anything. Right? Am I right? Did I get that one right? Did I get that one right?
Well, that's how I feel.
But that approach tends to invite a very different response, which also doesn't mean she won't be mad.
That does make sense because that's almost hat in hand going, and like you're very vulnerable when you're saying like, hey, I want to talk to you about something, but it's hard for me. It almost put it back on you.
That is what you're doing.
Yeah, this is difficult for me to say because
I'm scared. I fear you getting mad, which isn't to say you can't be mad, right? If you're mad, you're mad. It's just anger is scary for me. And obviously, if you're not in the habit of doing this, really being vulnerable is confusing for people. They have to like try it on a little, but you're sharing how you feel about it with honesty and vulnerability, which people don't get mad about that. She may still not like that you're going for whatever her reasons are, but you also have to develop more ability to tolerate her disappointment or displeasure.
Yeah, that's hard for me to do.
But that's
when
reps
I know
too for anything, right? Like anybody, like
everybody.
for everybody.
It's hard. It ruins my day if there's like I know Crystal's mad about something, and then it affects my whole day. I can't be like, oh, it's fine, she's mad.
Yeah.
Who cares? Or not who cares, but it's like it's okay that she's mad. And it's like not okay. And then I'm like, oh, I get mad about it. I'm like, why is she mad? Ah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're laughing at it, but I think what you're saying, there's so many people that are like in the car listening to this. They're like, I do the exact. That's
exactly.
me.
It's healthy to be mad. It's fine.
Yes, and I would also say that.
Well, you're not doing it on purpose too, either. Is another thing. Is like you don't. I don't think you ever actively. Neither of us. That is the one thing we don't like making our wives.
I don't
mad.
think any husband likes making their wives mad. What I'm suggesting is that there are so many places and spots between never saying a thing, never making the person mad, and like, yay, who cares? She's mad. Of course you care if your partner's upset.
Yeah.
If Steve's upset with me, that affects me too. And the primary task, arguably, of emotional maturity, whatever relationship you're in, is being able to tolerate other people's emotions and stop trying to manage them. So we can hold the fact that it doesn't feel good. Somebody's upset with us. I'm very sensitive. That would affect me. And that all I've done, if I've said something clearly and kindly, is just speak what's so.
Okay.
I haven't done anything wrong. So there's you have worked so hard for so long to avoid those things that like there's a lot of fear of them and a lot of like disruption for you internally. But I think if you said it differently, you might get a different reaction, A. And B, that could be something that you, and for anyone listening, that you and a partner can talk about to begin to get out of this whole thing. Because this is essentially what my book, The Cost of Quiet, is about. That we avoid hard conversations because they make us all uncomfortable. And that's something you can do. You can work on your own, and you can work on with other people to say, hey, I really don't want to bring this up because I'm just afraid we're going to fight and I don't want to argue with you. But there's something on my mind. Could we talk about it? How do you feel about talking about it? It's really helpful to ease in the conversation by talking about how uncomfortable it is to talk about it. It creates a lot of safety, and usually the other person, your partner, a friend, is going to feel super uncomfortable too.
Yeah,
we're not used to doing this, most of us. But at the extreme, it becomes total avoidance, total attempts to manage other people. Well, I would tell them, but I can't because they'll get upset. No, that is your own work to learn to be more comfortable, even if it affects you, speaking the truth kindly and knowing that sometimes people aren't going to like what we have to say.
We keep coming
I get sick to my stomach. I do this, but I'm not going to pretend it's easy.
We keep coming back to the same thing in almost anything that you and I talk about that will better our life. And I'm being serious here. There's absolutely zero jokes in anything I'm going to say here. It seems like...
Oh, there's one joke. I see it in your head.
No, there's not. There's not. I promise. It just and this is one of the things. This is a trope. This is an occurrence in what you and I have been broadcasting about. I would say over the past year.
Okay.
Is that anything that you do to better yourself, your relationship, or whatever, for the most part, not all things, but for the most part, is going to be difficult.
Yes.
It just feels like, you're saying
Good
it,
point.
trainers say it, nutritionists say it.
Yeah.
So
if it's not difficult, it's not worth anything.
Correct.
Short
so
term
maybe
difficult.
the reframe in this for all of us is to stop looking at difficult as difficult.
Yeah. I tell my sons
it like it is valuable.
Yeah.
I took it right, stole it, probably in the book. Yeah, it's just, you already know all this stuff, Colette. But I'm like, I gotta reframe.
No, but I'm glad you're making this point because it is why people don't want to do it, right? It is instinctive and natural to not want to do this, and yet two things. You're right. It's valuable. It's worth it because of the reward, and it's short-term discomfort for long-term benefit. Plus, the truth is, what I'm describing, even though I say it's sometimes hard, it does get a lot easier. And you see that it lands so often and really connects you to people. And a lot of the times people aren't as upset as we even think. Our heads are so scary in anticipation. So it really is worth doing, even if you start really small.
So, Colette, let's go to another theory that I saw on social media. And this one's a little more... I think unrealistic, but I think it's more for a headline than it is doable. Even though it is doable, it's just, to me, I'm like, this would be
clickbait
hard. Okay, yeah, it could be clickbait, but I think the idea of it is sound, and it's about spending more time with your partner. But it's called the 7-7-7 rule. So what it means?
7 figures, 7 abs, 7 inches.
7 lovers.
Wasn't that the thing?
That's a 666.
Yeah. Well, I got
Yeah, where I was like, what's the 6?
Why don't you call me when we get the 222 club around here? You know what I mean?
So this
2 abs on the top.
This is
2 fat rolls for me.
There you go.
one date night every 7 days, 1 weekend getaway every 7 weeks, and 1 vacation every 7 months. So it's
a rich people.
Wait,
guide.
what's the 7-week one?
That's a 1 weekend getaway. Now that's
every 7 weeks. Who are these people?
Okay, yeah. So that's what I was saying, Colette. Like
hard to do.
Even a date night every week is difficult for parents. You know,
hard.
Maybe a date night could be just as simple as like eating at lunch.
Well, it's just taking the time.
Yeah,
right.
or,
Like a date night can literally be the same meal that you're going to eat. It's just, are you pausing and giving it the amount of intention that it deserves to be the thing? You're really natural. I know he hates compliments, but epic lunch. They're not eating amazing food, guys.
Yeah, but that's on vacation.
But still, you're doing it. You're pausing and saying, "Hey, guys, it's pretty great."
Yeah, in fact, that's what I like about vacation is I feel like sometimes it's the only time we're like really unplugged. In addition to going somewhere cool, is that you're just so much more relaxed and present, which I think is the point.
So obviously the point is just planning something to spend with your partner. And if you give it a rule like this, at least you're held accountable for like, okay, every week I should do a date night, and then I should, every couple months do something more, like a whole day with my partner.
I want to ask you a date night question. To you, does a date night mean you and Crystal only, or does that mean family only, or is that?
Good question. Yeah.
I mean, like, how would you?
How do you see it?
Because
I have a hard problem with not taking Maisie places. That's my bad.
Yeah, like we go.
I'm bad about it.
Me and Crystal and the boys go every weekend. We're doing something. It's like we're always doing something together. But that's not really me and Crystal. Like we're a family unit. So
which still is great, but it's not like date time.
It's not the same.
It is.
Yeah, and when you have one child, because I was an only child for 10 years, I do think you tend to be brought along a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's like when you have more than one
She's
kid.
very adult. You can bring her anywhere.
Totally.
You can take her. She'll slide in over at Otto's High Dive. She's eating oysters with everybody else. Like you'd never know she's a kid.
Right.
And that's dangerous though, because in a weird way, I'm neglecting my husband duty of like having a special night with Andrea.
There you go.
And I'll say it. Maybe by saying it, I'll actively, maybe this week I'll change it.
But it's hard because you enjoy spending time with your kids and the family.
I don't get a lot of time with Maisie.
It's like I'd rather I'd rather do that than go on a date night. But if you don't do any date nights, then there's because it is a different feeling.
But let me throw like a slight wrinkle into it, which is that, and I'm not saying don't do these things. I think they'd be great. I do think there's a lot of research. I know there's a lot of research that shows having novel experiences together is good for boosting attraction and keeping a spark. And you do have to put energy into your relationship. However, in my first marriage, which I've been divorced from for more than 20 years now, we did all of that. We did tons of vacations. We had date nights every week. All of that stuff was happening, but we weren't emotionally connected. So it's not enough to do those things. It's really the quality of it. And it's back to eat the same meal, eat like whatever grub you'd have at a picnic table, like in your backyard. It's really not about doing the thing. It's about the quality of the conversation, the depth of connection. And yes, of course, you need to make time for your spouse, but it really matters how you're connecting during that time, not just doing these things. Because you can have what I call a surface relationship and have tons of fun with friends. And some people, I'm not saying you guys, but totally distract themselves and get all their needs for connection from their children. You know, the whole relationship becomes organized around kids or organized around spending time with other couples, and there's no there, or they're going on a date night and it's very like they don't really, it's not scratching the surface.
Yeah, sure. And then when your kids move out, you're like, whoa, who the hell is this old lady?
Well, this is why
you're not wrong.
No, you're 100% right. It's the number
it.
one category of divorce is gray divorce after 50, empty nest time. You've emotionally disengaged for years, or what we now call quiet quitting relationships, and now there's no connectivity.
You know, it just dawned on me that you and I, relationships, I mean, obviously this is a relationship show, but to put it in, because sometimes I think, especially men, the cliche is it's very difficult for us to think that if we don't put time in to talking to our significant other, man or woman, but like in this example, I'm kind of talking about myself, so it'd be woman, that we don't put a lot of prioritization on that conversation, that connection, that whatever it is with our wife. But let me ask you and me a question. Our clients that we have, so one of the most important things that we have with our clients is that relationship. We talk to them weekly, if not monthly.
Yeah.
If that breaks down, we lose that client. It's no different than the relationship in your house.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You know,
Brilliant
if you have a guy at Topgolf that is your guy at Topgolf, we don't work with Topgolf. We'd love to, and you lose the contact for Topgolf and you don't talk to him. Well, guess who's not getting money?
Well, that's business.
Yeah.
But
My
exactly.
wife, she'll stick around. I could mess up a bunch of times. She'll always be
I can
there.
hear a lot of
That's
people
what
saying
people
that.
She ain't leaving.
So even though
She's
people
stuck. I know
don't
it.
say those
See how good he
words,
says it? Oh my God.
She'll never go.
He can
Tom,
do this
that's
for
what
hours.
people think, right? We don't say it out loud, but that is what people think, especially when you're married.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's the one place I can borrow from. I can't afford to shortchange my job or my children or any of these other areas, but I can like borrow against the relationship. But you really can't. So whether you go on the weekend away every 7 weeks or every 6 months or whatever, it's really the quality and the depth.
So you're just clarifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great idea, but let's make sure when we're doing that it's a
Yeah.
little, what is the intent of this? Are we just going through the motions of going on an expensive vacation?
Yeah.
Are we, and again, I go back to this, but maybe, and I'll give your wife the compliment because I know you'll let her have it. Crystal is really good about like, well, this may not be the most amazing thing, but I brought a blanket and we have some great sandwiches and
That's
we're sitting
awesome.
next to a mountain and look at us.
Let's enjoy it and be together.
And taking a second to kind of just look around and be like, what are we doing? I think that's important.
And savor it.
Yeah, it is important.
Yeah, I have noticed, and we've kind of settled on as a family, like all these expensive excursions and stuff like that, and like the free hikes, the free epic lunch of
like
where it is, like all the free stuff has way more value than all this expensive, like renting the side-by-side or renting the snowmobile, these huge epic things. Like we've done all that, and I was like, man, I enjoy the
sometimes you just want a bologna sandwich with your dad, man.
And, we're just sitting on the side of a mountain or sitting on a trail.
I cut my feet off for a bologna sandwich with my dad because he's no longer around, right?
It is more valuable. Let's do some email.
So true.
Yeah, if you have an email for the show, go ahead and plug that for everybody.
Yeah, hello@lovethyneighborshow.com. Just send us an email, and we'd love to hear from you, and then we'll read it on the show.
Let's do something.
Love thy neighbor. Listener mail.
Always anonymous. This one is from, no, actually, I was going to say their name and make you guys laugh. All right, this is kind of a callback to our some of the shows we were doing around Christmas. We were kind of talking about how it's okay if you're overwhelmed to kind of take back your own Christmas and make it what you need it to be instead of feeling the pressure of having to go other places. This person says, hey guys, I just wanted to take a moment and thank you. I've been dealing with spine issues and nerve pain for almost 3 years and will be finally having surgery early this year. I'm dealing with chronic pain and it has really worn me down, and I was dreading the holiday season. So I did what I could and was feeling good about what I'd done to peacefully enjoy the holidays. Then Christmas Eve, my family sprung on me that they wanted to come to my house early on Christmas Day. It would mean 5 people invading my space that I had worked so hard to preserve. I immediately got upset and felt my heart drop. I knew that physically I just could not do it. Ugh. Then I remembered what Colette said. Quote, set boundaries. Be honest with your family. End quote. They may be upset at first, and we just talked about this a little earlier today, so this is a good email tie.
Yes.
I couldn't believe we were doing this. They may be upset at first, but if they love you, they will live. So I did just that, and even though it was a hard discussion, I did it. I could tell my family was caught off guard and a bit miffed, but guess what? They lived, and I got the quiet holiday that I deserved so much. It was great. Thanks for inspiring me to finally put me first. It was the gift that I needed for this year. Love you guys. Keep up the great work, Anonymous.
Amazing. And then that person stayed true to herself. Right?
It was a lady.
Yeah. I figured. How did I just know that?
You knew it. You knew
But
it.
that's amazing. That's exactly what we need to do more of. And I think what people forget is you can do that. You can be honest and still be kind, right? You can be tactful and saying, hey, I wish I could welcome you with open arms, but this year it's just too much for me. I hope you can understand. And then they might be upset, and that might be hard to tolerate, but it's also okay. And it can be difficult and good.
I think people start to spiral. I know I do. Like, I know I have a very vivid imagination. So I think like, oh, what if this person is mad? And then they just stay mad. And then they choose to never talk to me again. See, I have a tendency to go to worst case extreme, you know, and that's...
But
no
Dan, a lot of people do. A lot of people
live.
do. And so even that, I think, is so common. But if you know that and then you hold that lightly, then that doesn't, right? Those thoughts might pop up, but you don't have to like totally buy into them.
Gotcha. Yes, sir.
Well, I was just thinking, like, if it was up to me, I wouldn't do anything. Like, my baseline is like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do nothing. So then I have to tell myself,
I
like,
agree.
You can't live like that.
Yeah.
You have to do things you don't want to. It's
I
hard
too
because
am lazy.
Because so it's hard because sometimes I take like my baseline of what I want to do as laziness and think like going back to doing something that hard. If you do something hard, it's valuable, right? So like, yes, your family wants to come by. They're crazy. You don't want to deal with them, but you're like, oh.
Speaking for a friend.
They're
like,
all crazy.
I don't want my crazy ass family here and
breaking all my stuff.
So I wouldn't want that. I don't want that. So, but it's hard, and therefore, if it's hard, I should do it because it'll be better for me. So there's.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, like it's hard because it's
I
more
love it when Colette. This has been a new.
It's more complicated.
There's a new favorite thing that YouTube people that watch us on YouTube love to do, and it's called Colette's eyes going. Blah, 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 blah. And it's usually when you're telling some way that you do things.
Because there is a okay,
so
Colette.
true.
Colette, let me ask you about this because there is a
face
there's a
goes.
paradox in a lot of this advice, and you know it too. It's like you can go through all the technical this is good for this is the this is the advice I advise people to do. But sometimes you reach a paradox where it's like, yeah, I tell people to have the hard conversations, but then or do something hard. Like, I guess that's more for exercise, like your person, like because a lot of people would rather not do something because it is hard to do, like have your family over or whatever it is.
Well, this wasn't about that. This wasn't about doing something hard. This was about what they needed at the time.
Okay, yeah.
And at this time, am I saying this right? They didn't need hard because I think sometimes you do this where you're like, I can keep taking all things hard.
Oh, yeah. Put it on my back.
And well, let's address that.
I can hold anything, Colette.
Yeah, I think he does do this, and you were actively seeing him do this even in this example where he's like, no matter what, I will keep taking the hardest thing at all times, and there will always be a good ending to this.
Yep.
And I don't think that's
And it's the shoulds.
the
And
case.
shoulds are lies that we've internalized from society or our families of origin, right? Like what you should do. So I think we're confusing things in that many things that are worth doing and that are valuable are hard, right? But not all hard things are things that are worth doing. So this is really more of an internal thing. I don't think these things are mutually exclusive. Like maybe the example you gave of having your crazy family over when you don't feel like it, maybe 1 year that is the thing to do. And what I'm suggesting is that you actually connect to yourself a little bit inside and really get an authentic answer, not what you should do because it's hard, because you'll disappoint people, because of expectations. I'm not saying don't factor that in, but that can't be the only deciding factor. It's also, how am I doing? What if 1 year you're sick, or you have a spinal injury, or you are feeling depressed, or whatever? Like, what if there's a year that you just feel like, you know what, I'd love to have my family over. I don't want them to feel rejected, but I just can't do it this year. That's where I'm saying people need to be able to honor themselves. And this isn't a black and white thing. It's more of something you have to kind of be connected to your emotions, because your emotions will tell you what you're feeling and help you figure out what you're needing. And really ask yourself, am I saying yes to this because it's something I want to do and I feel like when I weigh the pros and cons, I'm willing to do, it's not going to cost me too much? Or am I just doing it because I'm afraid of disappointing people, or I feel like I should? I think it's connected to how hard you are on yourself too, where you probably wouldn't be likely to give yourself permission to say no at times that it might be better to say no for fear of letting other people down or not doing what you should be expected to do.
Yes, and that becomes hard because I don't.
It is hard.
I just say yes to everything, and then regardless of what I feel, to the point where I don't know who I am anymore.
Okay, thank you for giving me the poster child of codependency. It is time officially to start
That was
therapy.
literally the single greatest thing you could have said at the
I
end of the
agree.
show.
This needs to be the clip today.
I don't know who I am anymore.
But
that was very telling.
But
that was very telling.
Because then I look at this emailer, and then I'm like, all right, whatever.
Get to work, you pussy. Right?
Whatever, your back hurts, you're going to have your family over, they're going to be dead soon.
What's wrong with you?
And then guess what? Next year, you're going to use that same excuse because you don't want to have your crazy family over, and you're going to keep doing it, and then they're going to die one day, and you're going to feel bad about it.
So get to work, have them over.
Because no matter what, there's always a reason not to do it, and just do it. Nike.
Okay.
And I do appreciate your point of like that you feel like you'd say no to everything because you don't want to do any of it. But I think part of this is, I think the blanket statement takeaway of today is that you're not used to really connecting to yourself and really giving yourself a little more flexibility and permission. It's just you have one mode, you take it on, it's go, 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 it's deliver, it's better
it's
that
work,
way.
Work, work, go to the bathroom, go to Canada for 20 minutes, and work, go to the bathroom, go to Canada.
That has to be just my religion. It has to be right. The hard way is the only way.
Do the hard way and surf shark for life.
Your own suffer in silence. Your emotions don't matter. Like, you just block it off. Go. And everybody else, do it for them.
But this can change. This can change. I mean, even my husband, I've seen make a little bit.
You know, Tom doesn't believe in change. Right?
I'm anti.
He's anti-change. Yeah.
I'm the opposite of Obama.
Yeah, I was gonna say during Obama, he had the hardest time. Yeah. He'd see he'd see a change thing and be like, the colors are all wrong. He'd kick it over.
No hope, no change. That's my slogan.
I mean, the cool thing is some of the times we think people are going to be so mad. They're not. I would be lying if I said.
But Tom would say some of the time they are.
Right. And that might be uncomfortable, but it's more tolerable than you think. The more we avoid something, the scarier it is, and the anticipation's the scarier part.
It's almost like we're tougher than we think, too. It's like at the time, we're like, well, you can do this because you're tougher. It's like, no, you cannot do this because you're tougher. Because in that moment, truly the hard thing to do, that's funny. That's a reframe, too. You could reframe it like the easy thing to do would be to have him over because that's what I always do. The hard thing for Tom to do would be to ask what Tom wants. What do I want? I want to sit in with my boys in the backyard with no other family there. Just me, Tommy, Max. Not even Crystal. This is what I want. That would be literally the hardest thing for you to ask.
Yes, and then
that's the reframe.
I love that reframe.
You're right.
Well, this is why we work good together. Because
Brilliant.
eventually, after a while, we get to a good answer.
Yeah.
We're like,
and I think also it's like, I'm not saying just do whatever you want all the time and don't consider other people. I mean, that's not living relationally. I'm saying also
living relationally.
Yeah, relationally. relational, right? We're close to other people.
Yeah,
and
well, living within the tribe, not
Yes,
outside of it.
right.
What's the hell is that?
So we should consider, okay, if I go around only doing what I want all the time, then that's not really being so relational either. But I think it's weighing it each time, being in touch with yourself. And what I'm suggesting for you is that there's no real what does Tom want. It's what Tom should do. It's what's easiest. It's what's right, like what you think is expected, required, advantageous, instead of like what really works. There are times when I feel like I have to have a conversation that might sound not even a big deal to anyone else, but for whatever reason, it hits at my own codependency, because I do consider myself a recovering codependent.
Yeah.
And I will like feel sick in my stomach all day to dread the conversation. And I ease into it. So like, I just kind of have to bring something up and I don't know how you're going to feel about it. And I'm all nervous and awkward. And then most of the time it's like not even a big deal. It's some child part of me or something freaking out inside. And it's not nearly as bad as I think it's going to be.
No, you're right, Colette. You're always right.
I mean, there we go.
It makes him so mad.
Isn't that
I'm gonna find out a day you're gonna be wrong one day. You'll see.
I actually offered last week to change the name of the show to Colette's Right, and he's like, never, we'll never do that.
Again, the cost of quiet.com is where you can pre-order the book, and the book release party is this week, and we'll be talking all about it next week.
And we'll be there. Come hang out. Well, I mean,
the tickets are sold out, but we'll do other things in the future. Colette,
definitely,
of course,
I would love to.
Thanks as always, and we will see you next week.
All right, and we're taking a break, or we're keeping it on, right?
We can keep it on.
I'm going to keep it on. I'm just going to put on music. Guys,
Meaning
we'll be right
the
back.
microphone is on.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm actually turning it off now.
I need to be
microphones are on.
Yeah.
Hello. Welcome back, everybody. We went from Colette to now, went from like fun to like, well, not really. It was more informational. Now we're doing fun.
Yeah.
Well, what would Colette think if she heard you say that?
She's
tough. She
she
don't give a fuck. She'd be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I say
we started doing this show because she's our
right here.
neighbor across this, and we didn't know, literally on the other side of this wall. And she's a relationship therapist. And then one day we have a pinball sponsor, and we were doing a pinball event here, and so we opened the doors. And we've been in this building for 10 years. And then Colette walks by, and she's like, "What's going on here?" We're like, "Oh, we're a podcast."
I think
or
she
whatever.
actually opened the door.
Yeah, and then she's like,
walked
"Oh, I'm your neighbor. I'm a relationship therapist." And then we got to talking, and then she started coming on the show, and then now we do a show together, and it's called Love Thy Neighbor,
Yeah.
and it's because she's
She's
we
awesome.
talk relationships and relationship therapy and whatever.
Suicide. No, I'm kidding.
We don't know anything about relationships, but she does, and then we just do dick and fart jokes.
Yeah, I just usually she does something, then I yell like ah.
Yeah, but that's that's what real marriage is in the first place. It's
Yeah.
The husband is the dick and fart jokes.
Yeah.
And the wife is a little more cerebral.
Yeah.
And you have to find common ground.
Yeah.
And my daughter is both.
Yeah.
She's dick and fart plus cerebral. Shouldn't have said that.
Oh,
She's only 10, but I'm going to stand on. I'm going to stand on business. My daughter of 10 years old is dick and fart.
How old are your boys now?
11 and 14.
Okay.
No, that's prime dick and fart.
Oh my God.
That's like magnifique. That's when farts become, the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
All right, we're good to go. Whenever you want to start.
Okay,
man.
yeah.
Where are we putting this?
This is tonight. No, this
Beautiful.
is the beginning.
Okay, here we go. And 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube. Come hang out at Tom and Dan Live on all social media. The YouTube, we got a lot of people in there today. You could be in the chat room chatting it up with everybody. They got to watch some Love Thy Neighbor, and they're going to get to meet our celebrity guests.
Yep. So the Florida Man games are coming up, but we've been talking about the Florida Man games for years because Busey, I know Mike from Mike Weather Page is involved.
Is this the fourth year?
Third year.
Third year.
We've got Pete from the Florida Man games on the couch with us. How you doing, Pete?
What's up, guys? It's cool to be here with you.
Well, thank you for being here, man.
And,
thank you.
And then we've got Steve Lemme on the couch.
Hey!
What's up?
And of course,
our listeners know Steve. They love Steve.
Yeah, we've talked to Steve before. I think back in our old studio. Of course, Steve from Tacoma FD.
One of the only, I would say, guests of our show to make, I believe, all studios.
Yeah. I think
in every single studio we have, you have either zoomed in, called in, or been in.
Of course, Broken Lizard,
Yes.
Super Troopers, Beer Fest, countless movies. How you doing, Steve?
I'm fantastic.
Very good to see. Hold on, I'm going to give you a blast. I didn't do it Florida Man style. You get a blast.
Okay.
So Steve's in town doing press for the Florida Man games.
And it's 20 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Which is not very Florida.
It's fucking cold.
Yeah, it is fucking cold.
And it'll probably be hot. When is the Florida Man games, Pete?
Florida Man games February 21st, so we're about a month away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like by mid to end February, the weather's going to be perfect.
It better be. I'm literally calling it off. It's this cold outside.
Should you do that? Do you have enough power to just say it it's done?
I actually bought a ton of those heaters, just in case it was really good. You know those heater
The
poles?
ones with the thing on the top?
Yeah. I have 12 of those in my garage for the last 3 years. I've never needed them, but
yeah.
this
You
might
know,
be the
a
year.
lot of businesses, a lot of bistros buy those for their patios.
Yeah.
That's right.
You go to a bistro, then they have the heater out there. It's too hot. It's way too hot. It's on my head.
So, Steve, how'd you become involved in the Florida Man games this year?
So last year, Pete. So we on Tacoma FD we had Sam Shaw, who is a professional wrestler, WWE wrestler.
Okay.
And he was a guest star on an episode of Tacoma FD.
Okay.
And so he reached out with Pete and asked if I wanted to introduce the evading arrest obstacle course.
Okay, yeah. It was one of the games at the Florida Man games.
Yeah, where they run from the cops.
Yeah, which, and this was last year, and I couldn't do it. but I was like looking at all the stuff, and I was like, this would actually make a great TV series. And so then this year, I can't remember if like I reached out to you guys or I reached out to Sam, whatever.
I think one of us hit you up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so we started, collaborating, talking about, possible shooting a TV pilot, and then also me coming down and doing, I guess, what I was going to do last year on a little bit bigger scale, which was like this year. What I'll actually be doing is interviewing with Kevin Heffernan, who plays, Farland, my partner at Tacoma. We'll be interviewing the winners and losers after each event.
Okay.
So, it's going to be like 8 hours of us interviewing people.
And you mentioned your friend Sam
Shaw,
who is Dexter Loomis.
Loomis,
in WWE. I was like, I know that name, but I don't know that name. But who also, shout out to that guy. I've been wanting to get that guy in here just to talk on the show. Because like a person in the chat room mentioned, he's an excellent artist. Like that guy,
yes, he is.
He is
great artist.
That guy is like, he trips me out because he's a muscle guy, but a mean-looking muscle guy. But then also he's a very accomplished and excellent, artist. So I mean, he's pretty cool. Pretty cool dude.
So Steve, there's like an element of turning the Florida Man Games into a TV show.
Well, when you look at the events, it's basically like, there's a lot of ways to describe it. Like, it's American Ninja Warrior meets Jackass.
Yeah.
It's, there are elements of that you can add to it to make it like American Idol with, like one of the things I'm down here for right now is interviewing the team captains to get some of those pre-packages, those delightful pre-packages where you see the contestant, milking a cow or petting their dog.
Yes, yeah.
So, we haven't had any cow milking or dog petting.
No cow milking. But we had some weird ones yesterday.
We had some good
We had
ones.
some very, very good ones yesterday.
We should go through our teams. All right,
yeah,
what do we
because
got?
it's kind of North Florida versus South Florida.
Yeah, this year it's North Florida versus South.
Okay,
yeah.
now Steve, and we've told this before, but Steve's wife I went to high school with, and she used to go.
You better tread lightly, buddy. Like, what the hell are you doing?
And we're from South Florida,
Yeah.
which is completely different than North Florida.
Wow, totally different.
I mean, like, but
it might as well be a different state.
I honestly feel like
country.
I've got you guys out trashed easily being born and raised Central Florida.
Central Florida
Very
is a blend.
trashy. DeLand, Deltona area? Come on, man.
I was going to say DeLand. If you said DeLand,
I'm born and raised DeLand.
that's one of the trashiest areas in Florida. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. I'm right down the road. I get it.
Yeah, where are you at?
I'm in St. Augustine now.
Oh, okay, I went to school at Flagler, double trash.
Did you? Okay. Yeah,
double
man.
trash. Yep.
Well, Miami, from an outsider's perspective, Miami is the outlier. Like Miami is,
Yeah.
and then Florida, you can lump all of Florida in together after that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not that I want to make
In his non-Floridian opinion.
Yeah. Well, Southwest Florida is full of old people, but it gets up to Naples, and then you're starting to get, into Tampa, and that's a whole different crowd. Like, there's like 5 different boroughs of Florida.
In both of your opinions, who has the most unbridled, untapped, hillbilly Florida talent? What team?
What teams of
What
the teams
team?
this year?
Yeah, this year.
Oh, that's a good question.
Well,
Because it doesn't
Cletus-
necessarily mean they're going to win. Because just because
right.
you have look at like the NFL or like who has it doesn't matter. You don't need the best players. You need the best team.
Yeah, I think Cletus's team is going to be pretty impressive.
Cletus McFarland.
Yeah,
he's Team Bradington.
Yes, he is.
All right.
And we're doing it out there at the Freedom Factory. So they're kind of on their home turf. That might give them a little bit of an advantage to be on the home field.
Now Pinellas team, that's our buddy old.
That's Mike Weatherpage.
That's
right?
Mike's Weatherpage.
Yeah,
Mike from Mike's Weatherpage.
Yeah,
I have to go by because he's been on our show so many times. I have to throw my love behind Mike, right? Or you'd be mad.
Yeah. I mean, Pinellas, Tampa.
Plus, I'm gonna say something I've never said on the show before. I know Mike from Mike's Weatherpage is real. I'm not gonna dox him. I know his real email address. And it's really Florida man.
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I can't even say it.
Wow.
It's so Florida, I can't even say what's in it. But Mike from Mike's Weatherpage, very Florida.
So, and we'll go over the teams in a second, but I feel like Florida the marketing of Florida is bigger than it's ever been. Like just even with like HBO, it's Florida Man, like, you know, show that they, you know, and there's a lot of celebrities involved in that. And it's just like, and just the media itself, because of Florida's like, you know, reputation, really, because of how our media can get released, is really why. You know,
Sunshine Law.
Sunshine Law.
There's crazy people in every state. People, Mississippi's worse. Anyway, sorry.
I don't know, man. The Mormons give us a run for their money with their drugs and everything.
It's like French or
Ohio.
something. Yeah. But so
Louisiana Man is very crazy.
But the Florida Man, the media has been publicized so much, the marketing of it, that it's like it's gigantic worldwide. I feel, and that's helped this event a lot. Like because it's gotten bigger and bigger each year.
I think we've helped the Florida Man headline. What are you talking about? I think it's the other way around. This event has magnified the presence on Florida. But no, it's really cool. You know, we're kind of working with the built-in legend of Florida Man. Which is really cool. And it's one of those things where all you have to do is hear the name, the Florida Man Games, and you're like, oh shit. I gotta see that.
No, 100%.
I don't know anything about it. I gotta see that.
So let's go over the actual games real quick, because some of them have changed. Some of them are like, you know, the staples in the Florida Man games. Right. So let's start from the beginning.
Yeah. So our staples of the Florida Man games are the evading arrest obstacle course, where the guys have to go through a series of obstacles, throwing alligators through drive-through windows. You guys know that story, I'm sure. They have to steal catalytic converters and copper pipes. And then the final challenge of that event is running from actual cops. And we've got the Manatee County SWAT team providing their cops for this year. So they're bringing the heavy hitters for the cops. We've got the grocery aisle brawl, which is that gets chaotic instantly.
So explain that.
Yeah. So two guys start off inside of grocery carts. Their kind of teammates push them towards the grocery aisle, and they've got to literally fight each other for all the items left on the shelf. The toilet paper, the beer, the Solo cup, you know, all the essentials for a hurricane. Alcohol and Solo cups.
The whipped cream flavored Pinnacle vodka. All the essentials.
And how is this set up as far as, like, is it in different places? Is, like, there stands? Like, give us an idea of, like, what we're, like, if someone's going to the Florida Man games, like, what they're walking into.
Yeah. So this is going to be all in the infield of the Freedom Factory.
Okay.
And, it's kind of different locations.
Okay.
And I kind of set it up that way, so we don't have to move things around and break down in between every competition. But I want you to see different things on the field and be like, oh, shit, what are they going to do with that later today?
Gotcha.
So they're kind of stationed all over the place in the infield out there.
And how many different teams are involved?
12 teams.
12, okay.
Yep, 6 from the north, 6 from the south.
And how do is there a lot of the teams that participate every year? Are the same ones? Are they new every year?
There's a handful. So our 2-time champions actually are back. Obviously, the champions are invited every single year. And then we've got a handful, pretty much our top 6 from last year is coming back.
Okay.
And then some brand new teams in there along the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Steve, I want to go back to, like, even producing a TV show and how that business works. I want to, like, dive into.
Well, I'm sure it's different now. I mean, since when you guys started doing, let's say some of your first public,
Broken Lizard back in the day, and like producing movies, and then like the business has changed in the past 20 years.
Or maybe it's changed 3 times.
It changes every year.
Okay, explain it to us, because we don't know. Like, we're 2 Florida men that are here, been doing the same podcast.
We're too lazy to throw gators through, windows.
We've been doing the same podcast 15 years. We're not producing movies and TV shows, we have no idea about any of that world.
And no curiosity to do better. We're like, this is fine.
By the way, that's a very Florida attitude. Right?
We're like, it ain't bad. Ain't bad. Not bad.
We're like, I got an RV, I got a boat. That's all I need.
Pretty good. I got 12 beers. Let's go.
So how has it changed, the business changed, since you've been in it in the beginning?
Well, I mean, honestly, like when we made the movie that we made before Super Troopers was called Puddle Cruiser.
Okay.
That was like 1996. And we went out to Hollywood, and it was like NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, and then like the CW and UPN were like these, like the 6 networks.
Yeah, that was it.
That you could sell to.
Yeah.
And that was the way it was. And now obviously there's streamers and there's, the YouTubes of the world and there's, Tubi and Roku channel and all that stuff.
It's almost infinite, right?
It's infinite. And so it's like, it used to be that like a network on any given night would have, 8 to 15 million viewers or something. That's just not the way it is anymore. That's more like 3 million viewers.
Yeah.
And then there's like, these pockets of eyeballs, and nobody knows where those eyeballs are going to wind up. And so it's like...
And they're all moving each other. We talk about this all the time. Like,
well, they move now more than ever. We're conditioned to, with a attention span and jumping around. I mean, like, people are dancing to what's new all the time.
It's like almost it's diluted entertainment down to like there's so much out there that all audience numbers are smaller, right?
Yeah, it's across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that's still doing really well, though, are things like the YouTube channel and and a lot of the social media influencers. If you catch and something blows up, you're golden, and you can ride that pretty far. If you have a video with like a couple million views, and by the way, I say this from a position of ignorance because I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, right. But a lot of those people are going to be out at Florida Man games. I mean, Wix
and
is
even,
one of those guys.
Even Mike has got 2 million plus Facebook followers and stuff, but very specific niche, and he does the weather, and then like his own personality and stuff comes across, but it's like he's presenting the weather as an you could say professional meteorologist at this point because he makes money doing it, but he's an amateur Florida meteorologist that has curated a little audience of 2 million. I say little, it's gigantic because most news stations in Florida won't get 2 million viewers, but then out of that 2 million, it's weird because some of them are ghosts people and some of them are bots, and like there's a little of that too in all social media. It's weird to navigate this world. But Steve, so how, like, when it comes to even shopping a show now, what the hell, like, what's the process?
Well, the one thing that has, I think, remained consistent is that the people who are in charge of the money bag always, like, they operate out of fear.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And this is the way it was when I entered the business, and it's still this way, in that they don't necessarily know if the thing that is being pitched to them or presented to them works or not. Even if it's a completely original idea, that might scare them the most.
Right. Okay, sure. Because they want something they've seen before.
Yeah, I need something that's consistent here. Like, I need something I've seen before.
Yeah, and so the thing
that
still remains the same is like, if the auspices that they can put together make safe sense to them. So it's like, it used to be like, okay, well, we have this director and this actor and this screenwriter, so we are going to greenlight this movie, and then the movie comes out and it sucks and it bombs. Those people can still fall back on the fact that they were like, well, I mean, we had all these great pieces of the puzzle here, so that, obviously it should have succeeded. Whereas if they took a chance on a project with some no-name actors and directors and it bombed, they would just get fired.
Gotcha. So they're protecting their own job.
That's perfectly said.
So it's still the same now. So like, I think across the board, and what they're relying on a lot of the time, when it's not like a name actor or somebody like that, it is the young people that have followers. And if they're like, okay, well, this person has 20 million subscribers to their YouTube channel or this many followers on Instagram, that's a safe bet, and we'll invest our money in that. And then, I don't know that they invest as much money as they used to, because they're still, it's like, it's so like, it's so diluted.
Yeah.
We use that term a lot too.
Yeah. And so, but that's how they make their decisions most of the time, is like, is there somebody that we're really excited about? Is there a social media influencer that we're excited about? And that works for like unscripted. I don't know if it works for scripted as much, because you never know if those people have talent to act in something, but it's still the same decision making. Well, I'm not going to go for this person because they don't have an Instagram following, but this person has 20 million followers. That's the safe bet, because they can plug it on their site, and we know that it'll get to 20 million people. And
gotcha. Yeah. So it's almost like it's a built-in advertising safety net. if you hire, and we've seen this before, where even like people hiring social media influencers and for their movies and acting and shows, just because they're like, well, at least they will bring their audience, and that's
at the very
value.
least, 20 million will see whatever they're talking about.
Yeah.
So.
Or they'll be able to promote it.
Well, I think in the case of like a guy like Rob Delaney,
okay,
it works because that guy's a talented guy. But for every influencer like him, there's probably 99 that don't have that kind of talent.
Sure.
Yeah.
But so like, the best thing you can do as a creator is still to create something that's completely original that people haven't seen before, which I think the Florida Man Games is.
Yes.
Like I had spoken to these guys last year about it, and then I saw on ESPN, either top 10 or not top 10, they had the evading arrest obstacle course, and I had major fucking FOMO because I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be right there
Yeah.
for that thing. But it made me think, it's like it is. We've seen sort of like the things like American Ninja Warrior. We've seen the obstacle courses, and all these competitions. But this one is different. There's also like the bullwhip competition this year.
What's the bullwhip competition?
The bullwhips and bad decisions. So it's 2 guys are going to be in a caged octagon.
Okay.
And they're going to be wearing belts full of beer cans. The other guy's objective is to whip those beer cans off. And of course, along the way, you're going to get some stray shots.
Oh, no, the belt is near their genitals, and they're
not only that, but the golden beer can is right in front of their nuts. And that's worth like 5 points. So people are going to be aiming for that one.
So there's 2 guys whipping a bullwhip at each other, belt full of empty beer cans, trying to whack them off.
Yeah.
Well, they're not empty, are they?
That was a weird way to say it. But
it's called the bullwhip whack-off.
Maybe we need to change the name of that one. The bullwhip whack-off.
Actually, why don't you call it Tom Van's
I want naming rights.
whack-off?
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Tom Van's bullwhip whack-off.
How many people come out to the Florida Man Games?
Thousands, man. Our first year we had 5,000 people out there. It was bigger the second year, about 7,000. And Freedom Factory, we had the capacity for about 10.
Okay.
And we might sell it out, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
That's a lot of people.
That's the goal. I mean, like,
that's always the goal,
how do you
right?
control, though? Because, I mean, you are, and maybe this is a silly question, but when you are tampering in the dark arts, when you're stomping around in Florida Man land, sometimes that will attract people who are like, hey, man, I'm just going to fly my helicopter right over it and just watch it the whole day. Or, like, do you have to, like, how do you police it? How do you make sure
lots
that
of actual police.
Yeah, do you have to have...
And luckily, the cops love coming to this thing because obviously their homeboys are competing in it, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of cops on and off duty just show up there and hang out. So it's a big law enforcement presence out there for sure.
Yeah, and also Florida cops are a little bit different.
They are different.
They're
different.
Yeah.
You would have to be.
Yeah. You deal with a lot of different things.
You see a lot of things.
Well, it's like those, when you see the shows where the guys who catch the serial killers are like, you got to learn to think like a serial killer. I mean, that's the way it is with Florida cops. You got to learn how to think like the Florida man.
You do.
Yeah. Steve, I want to ask you about. I saw that you finished shooting the Super Troopers 3.
Yeah.
And that comes out later. And we're going to talk to you before it comes out too. But when did you guys decide? Because I think we talked to you the last time when Super Troopers 2 came out. And so with 3, when did you guys decide to do a third?
We decided with the third Super Troopers so Super Troopers 2 was finished for about a year before it came out because the studio realized that 420 in 2018 was a Friday night, was Friday. And so they were like, we're going to wait a year and take that weekend, make it a holiday
when
weekend.
You hear that, though, as a filmmaker, and like, because you're excited, right? Like, are you like, because like I'm one of those people that I'm like, I know what's right, but I also know what I want, you know, like, and I want my movie. Was that kind of how you felt, or?
Yeah, your heart sinks.
Yeah,
your heart sinks. On the flip side, when you have a release date for something, on the business sense of things, you can start selling. And if something's coming out next week, you've got a week to sell. If something is coming out next year, you got a year to be like, we got this movie coming out. We got this movie coming out. But in that time, we were like, all right, well, we should start working on Super Troopers 3. And so we started batting around ideas for it. And we knew, the smart thing to do would have been to put the script on the studio desk the Monday after Super Troopers 2 came out because it had a great opening weekend.
Yeah.
But we're not that smart. So we didn't do that. We didn't get the green light. And so it took us, another 6 or 7 years to get the green light. But we were still writing the script, and which always makes it better. And so, we have, I think, a pretty great movie on our hands. And it's edgy. And there's,
Is it harder to do that, or is that a myth when people say? Because that's what you see online. It's like edgy comedy. You can't say what you want to say anymore. True or not true? What would you say as a filmmaker that really makes edgier comedy movies?
Well, in this particular one, we found a way to make it edgy, which is, I don't know how much really I'm allowed to say, but
yeah, don't spoil it.
In this, there is a component of an Indian wedding.
All right.
And, we have an Indian director.
Yeah, Jay.
Yeah.
And, obviously he's a writer, too.
He's been in the news a little bit, too. He's been talking about Chevy Chase.
Yeah, he's
it's
on
amazing. You say one thing about Chevy Chase, and then Jay is everywhere. They're like, and then people are saying, he can't say it. Like, it was like looking like a mess.
Did he catch a hard time?
From what I understood, Jay was speaking out about his time directing Chevy Chase, and then other people
on Community,
and other people, Chen Jeskar, I should say. Yeah. Did I butcher that? I don't think I did.
You just butchered it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. But then people were saying well, don't talk about it. That's none of your business, kind of a thing. And I'm like, no, he's just sharing. He was there. He was part of it.
I believe he was there the day that Chevy Chase threw out an N-bomb.
Yeah, and that's what he was referencing in the article. Correct. Yeah, and then some people were like, well, I think anytime you bring something like that up, people are like, whoa.
I heard that documentary that he was involved in. Like, they were like, why'd you do this? It made you look worse. Like, it was like he thought that it may have.
Well, the opening scene that I like is that, that he kind of, like, Chevy's going on to say, like, he's very misunderstood. And he asked the current director, the current director says to Chevy, like, hey, man, I want to tell your story. Tell me your story. I want to understand you. And Chevy's like, you're too dumb. You can never understand me. That was like what he said back immediately. He's like, I would never share my story with you because you're too stupid to ever understand my story. And I was like, oh, I got to watch this.
Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's like, it's one of those things where you're like, the dude's just going to train wreck himself. And now I got to watch it.
Yeah. And if Jay's in there, I'm definitely watching it because we've talked to him before and he's great.
How many crazy people? I mean, not that you'd ever mention it, but like,
you want him to air out all those crazy people?
No, it's in Hollywood.
Like, naming some
tell
names.
us all your crazies.
Because sometimes, it's weird because like we get to meet a lot of, especially like touring comedians and celebrities that come through Orlando and stuff, and like really almost. We've not had one bad experience really. Like everybody,
just one.
Everybody's real cool and down to earth, and like, and it makes sense. It's like, well, to work in this business, you kind of have to have that cool personality or like be easy to work with because it's a difficult business to be in. So like, it made sense to me that everybody's cool. But then you hear these stories about these prima donnas and these crazy people that like, and that seems like an old school thing where you could be hard to work with and still get work because there wasn't the pool of, I guess distribution or like, it's just less people.
You couldn't
to work
find
with.
those people, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so am I going down the right path or wrong, Steve?
Well, is there a question in there?
The question is,
we like for you to find the question, Steve.
What I'm going to do is ramble on. You have to figure out what I'm talking about.
Yeah, typically we say things. If you can't find the question, that's your fault. That's not our fault.
All right. Well, I think I found it.
Yeah, thank you.
How many crazy people?
I think he just wants to know who's crazy.
Thank you for finally getting his question. Jesus.
No, what I think. Here's the thing. I don't mind when older actors are moody and crazy. Because like a good friend of mine was the late Bill Paxton.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we worked with him on Club Dread. That's when we met him.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, he had been in like Terminator.
Yeah. So
and Titanic.
Yeah.
And and True Lies and Twist. Like he had done all these gigantic budget.
Setting like literally top level movie for months.
Yeah.
The top. Worked with James Cameron many times. And when he came on to Club Dread, it's like it's a natural thing. By the way, he wasn't a prima donna at all, but it's like his patience level when things weren't like,
Oh,
you know,
right.
top notch. Where he'd be like, man, what kind of fucking Mickey Mouse operation is this? You know? And you're like, well, come on. You know, and that's, by the way, that's the least level of crust that I've seen from some older actors.
Right. That's like not even a big deal.
No,
Yeah.
and with the older actors, you're like, fine. You know, like, we get it. You know, if they're older than him, it's like, you worked in old Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, like with a Donald Sutherland who was in Beer Fest. It's like, and Cloris Leachman, like you guys worked in like the 60s and 70s when like film was king.
Different
and like,
rules.
The whole thing, right? It's when young actors come in and you're like, you're a fucking dick. Like, who the fuck are you to be such a young fucking dick?
Yeah.
You know, that's when I get annoyed because it's like, you have to earn the right to be a dick. And like, there are some young actors who come in and it's like, they think they're hot shit because they're great looking or something, or they're on their second job. And it's like, you're going to like talk yourself out of this industry if you keep acting like that. That's what I don't understand, is the young dicks. I understand the old dicks.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Especially you've been around, like, you know, even like Paul Mooney, when we met him and stuff, and you're like, this guy's nuts, but he's also a genius comedian.
Yeah.
And he's also been like, work with Richard Pryor. You know, it's like, he earned the right to be crazy as he wants, you know?
Yeah. He's seen some different things and was formulated a different way. So, of course, when I meet him and talk to him, we didn't mix well, you know.
Steve, is there an opportunity for, and we've seen some like stand-up comics like self-distribute and like not partner with bigger companies and stuff, and like, hey, I'm just gonna sell this stuff myself or put it out myself. Is that really a viable business plan? I mean, because one, it's like you can do that nowadays. Like, you can make a movie and just put it on the internet. There's no money. Like, I don't know where the money would come from, or like if it's just pure promotion, or you just want to get out there. So, like, have you seen that work?
I think I have seen it work.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it definitely works. If you have the ability to get it out there to the amount of people, I mean, you're cutting out the people who are going to take a huge chunk of your money, and you know, ownership is king. So like, you know, I mean, Florida Man Games, it's like, if you own something outright, first of all, if you get into a business situation, you'll have all the leverage in the world.
Okay.
But if you're collecting 100% of something, it's way better than whatever split you're going to be given with somebody else. But you have to have the means to do it. You know, it's like, you think about, like, I know Louis C.K. did it, started to do it.
He was kind of forced to do it, though, right? Because people.
No, he did it before.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and
that's
unfortunately, he did. He actually, when he did it before, I think he was one of the most successful independent. And then the news story or the scandal, however you want to frame it, broke afterwards. But he was kind of going down that path to kind of, I think, pull everything back and do everything on his own. It's what it seemed like he was going to do.
And because
I think he's done it
because he had the means. He was at the height of his popularity. He hadn't been. Those accusations hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
And so he decided to just self-distribute through his website, and his first thing was hugely successful. And I don't even remember what he was charging, but he didn't have to charge that much.
It was $5.
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
Yeah, the first one he did, I remember, it was right before the scandal broke, because if you'll remember, I had this is like, it would have been 2012-ish. I think, because I just exited Real Radio. I'd resigned.
Okay.
And Mike Aiello took me to see Louis C.K. And this is before anything, Todd Glass opened for him. It was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, what am I getting to see? And he was plugging, and I was like, what? This guy's going to sell his own thing? And sure enough, you go on his website, and you click this, and it was very rudimentary. It was like, it did not look fancy. It was like, you clicked a little thing, you put your credit card in, $5, and then you got audio. You got an MP3.
Yeah,
it was like not a big deal. You know? Like,
it's a weird equation though, because like as you get more and more famous, then it's easier to self-distribute because your name's big enough. Like you could obviously get on any media, promote it, and because your
to
name
kind of push
alone,
it through.
Yeah. But then the more famous you get, it's like, why try to do it myself when it's so much more work? I'll just partner up with another company than them do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like a lot more work to self-distribute. But you only can do it if you're famous enough to promote it yourself. But then if you're that famous, you might as well partner with a company to make it easier on yourself. So it's like right in the middle where it's like, should I partner with someone and give them a percentage or do it myself? I guess it's hard to.
Well, I think the moral of the story there TC, is that at some point in your life, you do have to work hard.
Damn it.
You have to
Write
do
that down.
something.
Did you write that down? Going back to Florida Man games for a second.
That sucks, Steve.
sorry to break it to you, bro.
I want the easy path.
You just want to be a no-name, nobody guy who puts something out and makes billions of dollars.
Yes.
Now you got it. Now you got it.
I want that too.
Yeah, man.
Did you have a hard time locking down the concept or the name Florida Man Games? Were other people trying to like squat on it or keep it? Because that was another thing I was surprised. I'm always surprised when anybody has like the official name for anything. You know, like you go to get something and they're like, it has a real name. I'm like, how the hell did you do
especially
that?
when big companies are already kind of using it, and then you got to worry about them being like, we own it's Florida Man.
Yeah. Did you have to jump through any of those hoops?
It was a very rough first year because I mean, you're right. Everybody in the world who owned a Florida Man trademark was like, hey, no, buddy, wait a second.
Right.
But I was very careful too. Trademarking was a big deal. I spent a lot of money trying to get like lawyers to help me do this stuff right. Because I knew this was something that could be big, and I wanted to make sure all that legal shit was in order. From the beginning. So it was something where we trademarked it right, we classified it correctly, and with trademarks and things like that, it's like if you have a beer that's called Florida Man, and I have a athletic competition called Florida Man, it's not the same. We're not in the same ballpark, right? Yeah. So that was. I mean, all the money I made the first year was spent on trying to make sure the Florida Man Games was solidified.
That's the answer I wanted. That is the honest answer of a hardworking Florida man.
So let's talk about the Florida Man Games again. What time of day does it start? How long does it go? And tell us about besides from the competitions, what else is going on at the event?
Yeah, so gates are going to open at 9 o'clock. We're going to have Lane Pittman, who is the guy who was the Hurricane headbanger. With the American flag.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
I love that guy.
He does our national anthem every year. He plays a sick rendition of the national anthem on electric guitar.
Has he made a living off of just that one?
Not quite as big as QAnon shaman, but he's kissing his heels. He's nipping.
Well, that's because the lawyers got involved.
Yeah, they do. The shaman's running for office. So he's got my vote.
Yeah, I think he does well, man. I think Lane Pittman does really well off of just being that guy. But yeah, so you're going to go in there. We're going to have like mechanical gators to ride. Everybody else has a mechanical bull. We have the only mechanical gator in the state of Florida.
There's mechanical dudes you can get too.
I don't.
You grab onto the pecker. It's awesome. They're awesome. I've been trying to get Tom to buy one. He says it's gay. I don't know.
Is this a Florida thing though? Because this has to be a Florida theme.
But it's real. It's Key West. It's real. If you go far, so far south.
What's Key West? Everyone's gay in Key West.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if you're not, you are. If you're there, if you're partying correctly, if you're doing it right.
Yeah, man. So gates are going to open at 11. We're going to do like team introductions at 10:30. Tell you who's all out there.
Nice.
Let you get familiar with the teams a little bit, and then we go straight into national anthem. And first competition hits at 11 o'clock. I think that's going to be the Naked Rampage that we start out with.
Oh, what's that?
Naked Rampage is
Tom's interested. All of a sudden. This ain't got a horny Florida man.
And this
right
is
here.
the guy that won't buy the naked, the mechanical dude.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Like
So you guys probably heard about that story a few months ago where the naked guy broke into somebody's backyard and just absolutely trashed the backyard.
I did
just
see this
simply
headline.
because he's a Florida man. Yeah. So we're gonna try and replicate that. We're gonna.
Well, he was on meth or some sort of.
Well, you know how good it is to be naked on meth, just throwing things.
But that's Florida. Everybody's naked on meth, in my opinion.
Yeah,
There's three key ingredients to a good Florida man story: nudity, meth, Walmart. Right.
Okay,
the only one we didn't have there was Walmart.
Okay.
So we're gonna replicate that. We're gonna put pool noodles in between everybody's legs. We're actually gonna hog tie them at the legs.
Okay.
So it's a little harder for them to get around, and they're gonna have to destroy everything they can in their neighbor's backyard. It's gonna be all 12 teams at once. So it's just gonna be like a melee of dudes out there swinging their noodles and knocking shit over.
There you go.
And
a lot of good greasy noodle swinging.
That's right. Like Steve mentioned, I think we jump into bull whips after that.
Okay.
Bull whips and beer cans and bad decisions. And then we've got two events that I have not announced yet, but I I think I want to break something here on your
All
show.
right, let's do it.
Breaking news.
We, I have about 15 cattle prods at my house that I need to use for this event. So I think.
What
What else am I going to use them for? What else? Yeah, what else am I going to use them for? Right. So I think we're going to do sort of a blindfolded cattle prod Marco Polo type of deal out there.
All right.
Where we put all 12 guys out there on the field armed with cattle prods and like last man standing.
You ever been
the
hit by a
competition.
I can't even say it.
It's fun.
Cattle prod.
I
It's
imagine
fun.
I've been hit by a taser.
I've been hit by a taser,
which
not by
I
a cattle prod.
which
Yeah.
I imagine is pretty similar.
I mean, yeah, well, it's a taser for cows.
Yeah,
you know? yeah.
yeah. It's probably stronger.
I would imagine.
Yeah,
And it
giant
always
cow.
looks sort of like it could go in your butt.
Now the judges.
That's how you see everything.
Yeah, it really is. You know what my
getting
wife
a
says? He
theme
sounds
here.
just like my wife.
Yeah.
It all comes back to the butt.
It all comes back to the butt. Forever. Florida.
So is someone judging the competitions, or is it just like is it like win or
It's
lose?
like Quad Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that
No,
work?
we've got a team of refs out there who are going to kind of be keeping score. Throwing flags on when people fuck up. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so there are, they're trying to keep it, between the lines a little bit.
Slightly
yeah.
awful.
And we got to do that because a lot of betting sites offer lines on the Florida Man games.
Oh,
which I was
really?
I was astounded to find out after last year that there were like 3 betting sites that were letting you bet on the Florida Man games.
Oh, you better get an edge right now. You got the guy. You can fix
yeah.
it right now. You
Okay,
can
okay,
fix
oh,
it.
I'm doing all right.
right.
Well, they lowered the limit, so all I can win is $100, but I'm going to win it.
But you've always wanted to do it.
I'll ask Pete before, and I'll call Steven like, hey, which one is
it all
going to
to
win?
Wiz. Give it all to
The
Wiz.
problem is I'm going to charge you $50,000 for the answers.
Yeah.
So
But the
you
bottom
better
line is
make
like,
more than 50.
I just, it's like when you're an idea man, like I am,
Okay,
and you
yeah,
see
yeah.
these opportunities.
Yeah.
My ears perked up just now. Like kind of like in horse racing, when they dose the horses to perform badly. I'm gonna get in on that shit.
man.
I see an opportunity to make some money here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And Steve, when you see this going on, and you see that no one's obviously you can go on YouTube and see video of this, but it's like there's not a show involved in this, and there needs to be something, and this is why you are involved. It's like, hey, I need to package this together and put this out there for the world to see, right?
Well, because when we spoke a year ago, I actually calendar-wise I couldn't come and do the thing.
Yeah.
But then I saw it on ESPN, and then it was Dre.
Yeah.
When we came down for spring break to Miami, and he was like, "Have you heard of this thing called the Florida Man Games?" I was like, "Yes, I've heard of the fucking Florida Man Games."
You're mad.
Have you heard of the fucking Florida Man Games? And he's like, I saw this thing. They got this evading arrest thing, and I was like, I know it's good, it's solid, and it's something that we haven't seen before, and it's something that we should put out there in a real fashion, 6 episodes, 8 episodes, make it one of these strongman competitions on ESPN2 that you see late at night.
Did a good job of that. I'll give them their flowers. I think they did a good job when they brought it back because they bracketed it and they did an amazing big bracket was BattleBots. Mm-hmm. When they did it last year. They brought it back, and it's the second season they've done it. But when they brought it back, they're like, we're going to start with 78 teams.
Yeah,
and then they narrowed it down, and you can watch all the episodes. There's tons of episodes, but they all go through, and they do narrow it down to down to 6 guys, and then you get your finals. But it was really well done. I would love to see. A really well produced.
Yes.
Actually, I'd really rather go out there and see it live.
You gotta
which
see it live
You can
for
do
sure.
right now. Get in there now before it gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Get in there
Sell
now.
out.
Well, that's the thing, and that's the thing. It's when Pete and I were still we're talking about it initially. My real point was because I know Pete had been talking to some people about that, and then of course you have sponsors who were like, well, we don't like. This element of it. It seems too irresponsible. Or some of the contestants are drinking beer. Can we get rid of that, element of it? And there was a lot of caution.
Yeah.
Overly cautious people who wanted to get involved, potentially do something with this thing, which isn't in the spirit of the games, which was my pitch to Pete. Number one, the live event is the most important thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't want what I'm trying to do to interfere with the live event at all. Because what I really responded to was the lawlessness of the live event.
Yeah.
And the live event is the baby. That's the original thing. So like that's not ever going to get fucked with. So, and now I've lost my train of thought, but that's, you know.
Yeah. You're not here to change it. You want to document it and then, you know, and leave it how it is. But you want to tell the story of what this is.
Exactly. And you guys are saying, you know, you got to see it live. You absolutely have to see this live. And so, you know, the challenge for me then would be like, all right, how do you capture that? Find people who want to put that on TV or whatever it is that aren't afraid of putting that sort of like lawlessness and edginess out there. And it's actually pretty liberating. Like we've had a couple meetings with people, and when you know that that's the directive, like we're actually not going to fuck with what the real product is.
Yeah.
It makes it really easy to say no to people. And when you can say no to those people, then you have all the leverage, and they're shocked.
So in a weird way, keeping your original ideology, keeping the original, like, no, the mission statement was X, it was this, and never varying from it, makes your life easier, because it's not that that's a bad thing. It's just like, if you don't like that or you want more caution, this isn't your games.
Exactly.
This isn't a good fit.
So what we need are partners that are like-minded, and if that's not you, that's okay. Because what we're not going to do is change what is the essence, what's at the heart of the Florida Man games.
Which is what makes it fun.
Because it's fucking Florida. And it's like the whole attitude is we don't give a shit about your rules and your regulations and, you know, and your laws, man.
Yeah. Man, when I tell Andres that this is all his idea, it's going to make his life.
I was going to advise you not to say that, because he's going to,
I'm going to text him. He's going to run out of school right now.
He's a teacher. Mr. Florida Man games. He's
going to quit his teacher job.
No, I'm Mr. Florida Man game.
I've been telling him, like, hey, you should drive up for this. We'll go out there.
I think, I'm hoping they all come, because Tiffany's coming.
Okay.
We're bringing the boys.
Okay. You're bringing the boys. You can't let your boys see.
You gotta see it.
I didn't advise him to do that. I advised him against that.
They may want to come to Florida.
You got California boys. They can't handle Florida.
What if these Cali boys want to become Florida boys?
Hold on a second.
Are they Florida boys?
You know what? I don't like that tone in your voice.
No. I'm asking.
No, they're Florida.
They're Florida boys.
Well, they love come to Miami for spring break.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got their friends here. It's everybody's kids are like, those are my friends in Miami.
Well, they got a Florida mom, and you get, no matter where
your
Florida mom.
strong Florida mom blood is? Oh my God, it's strong,
dude. That Florida mom blood, she is. So by the way, when I went off to shoot Super Troopers 3, I was gone for 2 months, 2+ months, and when I came back, so Grandma, Tiffany's mom showed up and helped cover while I was gone, and then stayed for another month. But I sat down at the dinner table that first night, and those boys were swearing in Spanish. They were making dick and boner jokes at the dinner table. I was like, boys, you can't say those things here. There's your mother and your grandmother's present, and Grandma's just laughing at the whole thing. And I'm like, you're undercutting the lesson I'm trying to teach these boys.
Oh, yeah.
But what had happened was they had made a full shift to Florida.
Okay. Florida grandmas.
I wasn't even going to bring that up.
A
Florida mom is one thing, but a Florida grandma, good Lord.
Well,
they're teaching kids
they're obsessed now.
They'll teach you how to shoot a gun.
No, I know. And it's like the bright line. They're obsessed with the bright line body count.
Yeah.
They're obsessed now with Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they want to go to that convenience store.
Yeah.
And get some merch.
Yeah.
They're gonna love the Florida Man games.
No, and now they're all like, well, Mom's from Florida, Dad. I'm like, honey, and they're like, she's from Florida. Let her be. She's from Florida. So they're into the culture, and they're dying to come see the Florida Man games.
Perfect.
That's funny.
And I'm like, well, it was So the night before, but by the way, the nice thing about the Florida Man games too is it's not just the events. There's also, like we're talking about, like the alligator riding.
Yeah.
There's like between the events, there's a carnival atmosphere. I think,
Yeah.
With like attractions. There's like a professional, like a high-end mullet barber.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh yeah. We gotta be able to offer a guy to cut you a mullet cut on site.
On-site mullet cuts.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But top tier mullet cuts.
Top tier, the toppest of tiers.
So before we run out of time, where can we get everybody get tickets?
Real easy, thefloridamangames.com.
All right, get your tickets now.
And get them now.
Yeah, that's the easiest way. Are there like VIP and regular, or just one
VIP
GA?
regular?
Okay.
Yeah, VIP's only $120. Regular's only $40. It's easy to get out there, man. You're going to see all these cool people. Steve, Cletus, OMG, it's Wix. All these cool people going to be out there.
Yeah.
You guys are definitely going to be out there.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring my daughter out there. Now that I know
Hell
Steve's
yeah.
bringing his kids,
Yeah. I'll bring my
everybody
sons.
out there.
I always say
Yeah.
it's family friendly enough, but your kids are going to learn new words.
Well, you know, we just went to the Magic game, and the guy from Boston that sat behind us used every word in, like, there's no curse. He used the C word, and Maisie had to ask me what the C word is. I'm like, I think you're ready for Florida, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that Magic game was spicier than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I
remember.
don't know about that.
Like 12 years ago, or like when I talked to Steve about having kids, I think it was before I had kids, he told me, and I thought it was crazy at the time. He's like, well, you just wait. When you have kids, you'll love them so much, you want to make out with them. And then I was like, what the hell? And then I remember the day.
Making out with his kids.
Oh, my God.
I've been making out with my sons every day
and
since.
boys. Yeah, which is weird.
And you were right, Steve. Yeah.
Every day he gets home, he's like, boys, go get your wigs. Make out time.
By the way, you know what though? It stops when they go through puberty.
Okay, yeah. That's it. Just like,
hey, you want to make out? No, I got hair on my pecker. Bye.
Yeah. Well, no. Oh Jesus, this is a whole can of worms here. But like,
I'm gonna leave the camera shot on there.
no.
Pete, you can leave. We're talking about making out with our sons.
Yeah. If you don't have a son you make out with, you can leave the room.
I do not want to be on camera for this
No,
part.
Pete Melfi, stay right here. No, it's like, you know, when your kids are born, they're drooling on their lips. They're like, you're going to look at you like, and then you just want to be like, I love you so much.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, that's still, with the 11-year-old boy, I'm like, he's still so cute. Like, I still feel that way about him. Sometimes, you know, you're going to crunch their fucking bone.
You want to scrunch them up.
Yeah. But the 14-year-old boy, like, now he's just gross. Like, now his skin is bad. He smells.
Yeah. I heard they get gross.
He's a fucking pervert.
Yeah. There's socks everywhere. You're like, oh my God, I know what you're doing.
Dude, it's like, it's crazy. And honestly, this new generation, like, he says things and does things that I never would have said to my parents, and I'm a crazy person. You know, like, I was like, growing up, it was like, oh, and people still say it, like, oh, Lemmy's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and he like says things that shock me, and I'm like why? Like he wakes up, he's in the morning, he's just sitting there with his boner in his pajamas. And he's like, hey, everyone check, like, and he talks about how big his dick is.
That's 2026 father-son relationship.
Yeah, but he's in front of his mom too, and he's like, she's like, all right, everybody get dressed, and like, you know, she hands the kids their clothes, and he hung his school shirt off his boner, and I was like, dude, like, you can't. He's like, why? I'm proud of it.
Awesome.
It's so big.
Look at this thing.
And you know, I never would have done that in front of my mom.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? But I would have, right? Like,
you did.
My dad and I, I don't know if we're running at it. We're out of time. Yeah. But,
now we're out of time.
I'll tell you a story.
We can
make
get
you
into
feel
it.
better. I'll make you feel better.
Well, Steve, Pete, thanks for coming by.
Thank you,
I
man.
really
That was
appreciate
awesome,
it.
you guys.
Again, the Florida Man Games are coming up. Get your tickets at thefloridamangames.com.
Get them.
And we will be right back.
Got that. Perfect. And we're coming back, right?
Do it. We may be able to cut that 5 or put it.
I can fix this.
Okay.
I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're good?